Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Dave.
What? Yes. Welcome. It's Burning Bright episode 10. Sorry we missed a week. The left side of my head decided to fall under nuclear attack. But I'm back. I can mostly hear, and things are much better. Like it just said, this is episode 10. If you haven't seen previous episodes and you want to catch up, you can see them at happyjacks.org/burningbright or find them on YouTube or your favorite podcast stream, along with other Happy Jacks content. This is definitely an R or M-rated game experience. I'm not going to be shy about describing grisly details. Bad things happen to good people. It's a gritty, ugly cyberpunk future with a lot of problems. So those are out there on the table. If that's not your jam, cool. I understand. There's definitely days where it's not my jam. I want to watch something happy and enjoyable, and not something that makes me think and makes me ponder about the essence of who we are as people and all of those questions. If that's too much for you, I get it. There's lots of other Happy Jack shows that are goofy romps through weirdness. Go, have a great time. Find them at happyjacks.org/shows. Especially being a game that leans into darker themes, we also use all of our safety tools here. We did a Lines and Veils document. We use an X card on our tables. So if anything comes up in play, we try and keep each other happy and safe because that's the point, right? We're playing a game. We're here to have a good time, even if it's a weird time. But it's not to hurt other people's feelings or cause badness. Because as soon as you start playing to hurt somebody else at the table, you're an asshole. And I don't want to play with you. So figure it out. All right. Let's go around the table.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sam. I play Kestrel, who is definitely a replicant, a grumpy one. She is currently an LAPD enforcer and a disgruntledly retired combat specialist.
Retired in the career way.
Yeah, retired in the career way.
Retired asterisk.
They tried the regular way. It didn't take.
Rough. Hi, everybody. I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I'm here to play Haru, who uses they, them pronouns, and they're a replicant investigator, and never a problem. Ever.
And I'm Cousteau. Oh, sorry. That was my earthquake creation. Sorry about that. I use he, him pronouns, and I play Fjor, Rotari, a LAPD veteran Cityspeaker. A Cityspeaker, because I say so many cool things all the time. That's it.
That's it?
I guess.
Okay. Hi, I'm Joey. I use he, him pronouns. And I'm playing Gavin Huxley, who also uses him pronouns, who is totally fine being a replicant. He's dealing with it really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely knew he was a replicant the entire time.
Sure.
It's fine. He's fine. We're fine. That's all I got.
Yeah. Everybody around the table is super fine.
Everything we said
All
was
the
true.
time.
Completely.
All right. So, our last episode, we nailed down the first murder weapon with plasma cutter.
The weapon is not me.
No. You were the person that nailed down the weapon choice. So give yourself a promotion point.
Yay.
On that one. Let's see. I think Gavin, you probably get a humanity point.
Oh.
For your picking out good outfits for the concert.
Mm-hmm.
I think you will get a promotion point, Fjor, for reporting things into Wallace.
Okay.
Oh.
No.
Yay, a point. Oh, what did I do?
Oh, at what cost?
Yeah. Let's see. I think you'll also get a humanity point for making a connection with the software engineer.
Okay.
And treating them like a person.
Okay.
That counts as something in this world.
Yay. Only in this world.
Right. In the real world, you don't have to treat other people as people.
God. Oh.
Well, because nobody gives you some mystical point that makes you better.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
It's called Karma Day.
I only
Oh,
work on
sure.
gamification of life.
Right. When someone shows up and actually hands me a little point that I can go, hey, I got better at typing.
Nice.
See? Level up.
Yeah, that'll make a difference. But let's see. I think both of you will get a point of humanity for blending in fairly well at the concert.
Haha.
A
You
little
blend.
awkward, but
Yeah.
you both like survived it. It didn't turn into a fiasco. Nobody started shooting. Nobody started punching. Everybody survived the concert part. Even though, I sprinkled some bad people in there around you that, could have caused a problem.
It's me, the bad person who could have caused a problem.
Well, I mean, Josh Schuyler was sitting only a few rows away.
Yeah.
Yeah, could have been a thing.
There were no windows.
Not yet.
Let's see.
We get the plasma cutter. Great window.
That's a door.
I think, Gavin, you'll also get a humanity point for making a good impression on the chief judge.
Oh, okay, cool. Come on, humanity.
Well, you know what, on that one, I'll let you pick. Humanity or promotion.
Let's go humanity.
Okay.
We'll go humanity.
Because it could be that you related like a person and actually kind of engaged him in conversation. But at the same time, it's also a professional advantage to know the chief judge. And
It was
be semi-friendly with him.
100% to manipulate him.
Sure.
So it wasn't I was trying to make an actual connection. It was more using...
Well, you can have an underhanded reason for making an actual connection.
I guess that's true. Okay. All right, I'll keep
So that's
humanity
fine.
then.
You laid eyes on Mason the prosecutor for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You laid eyes on Neander Wallace for the first time. Neither one of those is getting you a point, but
No.
that happened.
It was very normal. It was a very normal experience.
Regular human eyes. It was all fine.
Yeah.
And then Wallace had his glowing eyes at you during the concert.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
We found the footage of the murderer.
You did. The both of you can get a promotion point for that if you
Yay.
filed it away. I almost forgot about that whole visit. Yes, so you have footage of the murderer in a dark hoodie trench coat, and you've estimated their height to be about 6 feet. You also compiled a list of other 6-foot people.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a pretty expensive list, so I don't think you get a point for that one yet. Because there's quite a few
Gotta
people
narrow
that
it
are
down a
around there.
little.
Yeah. Unless you just want to start rounding up 6-footers. That would be a way to solve
See
the
how the
crime,
day
I
goes.
suppose.
Yeah.
Just set up checkpoints everywhere in the city and just start hauling in the tolls.
Not extremely tall.
Just the,
No.
Just tall.
yeah,
This is
Just
the
set
worst
up
retelling of
something at
Cinderella
5'11",
ever.
and everybody that bangs their head on it, we stop
yeah,
them.
yeah. Like that low bridge
Yeah.
on the
Ow,
webcam.
stop.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what 11'8" bridge or
Clearance.
something.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you just watch trucks tin can open the top
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
truck
yeah.
over and over again.
Bad.
Yeah. All right. Anything else I'm forgetting that anybody thinks is a worthy point?
I think the only other thing of note that I did was fill out the case file on the judge that's dead, and that's
Well, you also did a lot of research into what are they called?
replicants.
The
Oh, the Nexus 8.
Nexus
Yeah, I
8.
do have that like.
For some
massive
reason,
list.
Nexus just completely left
Um,
my brain.
Sure.
I did a lot of background research. I'll leave it to you as to whether or not that's point worthy. Some of it was key memory related.
Sure. Well, I'd give you humanity point for that. I mean, that's not case related, so
Yeah.
It's not promotion points.
Yeah. No, I don't need it to be a promotion point.
Sure. Because that was definitely a focus thing.
I'm doing work. Doing work.
All right. So now we move on to see where everybody's headed. I know you guys are headed to the after party.
Mm-hmm.
Where are Kestrel and Fjor planning to spend the fourth shift?
Well, I think fourth shift should technically be downtime
Take a
for
downtime.
us.
Take a break.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into that again. I know we looked into it last time. I'm just gonna see how bad of an idea this is now.
I think when we looked, replicants can go 4.
Yeah, we can.
But hopefully nothing bad happens at this party. We have to go into a 5th.
Nothing bad ever happens.
Ever.
It's fine.
Nothing bad will ever happen in this city.
So yeah, if you guys want to take a downtime, that's totally cool. We can do that too.
Yeah, I mean, I think the next thing I would want to do is go to the Esperol and look at the camera, the street cameras for like around where the murderer would have come out,
Sure.
and that footage isn't going anywhere. So I'm gonna go take a nap.
That makes all the sense in the world.
Really smart.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he's just gonna go probably home and file a report, and then yeah, just call it a night.
All right. Actually get some sleep for once.
Yeah, try.
Maybe,
Yes,
maybe.
maybe.
Cool. Let's.
Or actually, correction, he doesn't have a home yet, so he will be apartment shopping from his car.
All right.
Is that what you're calling it these days?
Well, I mean, there's an apartment in the UN building that's open.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a step out of the pay grade,
yeah.
I'll say.
And then there's
Honestly, I don't even think the judge could afford it. It's more like the judge had money and was a judge.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm just saying it's a crime scene, so it's currently vacant.
Yeah, I mean, so is Leah's apartment.
Yeah.
Not touching that.
I mean, either one, you could just go squat in until they make you leave. And if it's long enough, maybe you get to keep it.
The Aurelian shop, that's vacant.
Yeah.
What
The
shop?
Aurelian's shop.
Aurelian
is vacant.
shop.
That is
That is
true.
really little, though. You'd be hard pressed to lay down in it.
Yeah. There's a lot of eyes on that place too. I don't need that.
All right. So,
Lot of options.
finding a dark spot to park and get a couple of minutes of shut eye while you think about which place or where you want to aim yourself to find a place.
Hmm.
That makes sense to me. But let's roll a d8 and see if anything, because it's downtime. We got to see if anything props up.
Okay.
You have a majority chance of nothing bad happening.
My brain wake up.
You've seen how we roll, right?
I mean, I'm not going to tell you which way you want to roll, high or low, so then you
Yeah.
can't screw it up.
We don't know because we always roll the opposite of what we're supposed to.
Basically, it doesn't matter. All right. 2.
All right. So you spend a little time driving around looking at some of your options. There is, as James pointed out in the chat, there is the option that you can sign up for an actual apartment from the LAPD.
Okay.
That is an option, and you basically get a duplicate apartment to what Leah had, which wasn't bad. You know, you actually had a little bit of space, and it's a studio, but you know, a lot of people deal with a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're on the record and you have a place where you live.
Yeah.
There's other options that you could look at, but that would facilitate you having to try and make some money
Mm-hmm.
to be able to pay for them.
Or you
I mean, you
could
get a
squat.
salary, but it's not independent wealth kind of money to go out and be like, I'm going to get a place on the seawall looking out at the turbulent ocean.
Yeah.
It's not that great.
Dark.
It's fine.
Mhm.
So you can ponder that. That's all cool. You can actually get a decent night's sleep.
Okay.
You find a spot. I think probably the only thing that bothers you is at one point through the night, there's like somebody goes running past the car and it just tweaks you into consciousness enough to be like, is there a problem?
Mhm.
And then like 2 more people chase after them and you're like, not my problem.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Okay.
So you can, if you're missing any resolve, how many points?
I don't have any. Yeah, I pushed, didn't I?
So, I mean, you're down how many?
So I get one.
Well,
Or
how many are you missing from your maximum?
I have no resolve left.
Okay, so is that down 3 or 2?
Down 3. Sorry.
So down 3?
Yeah.
Get 2 back.
Okay, sweet.
That's a pretty good night's.
Yes, it is. That's the most resolve I've ever gotten back.
All right. What's Kestrel doing for downtime?
I think I want to go to a pawn shop and sell those electronics that we got from the scrapyard guy.
Okay,
And then go home and take a nap with my giant dog.
sure. You can absolutely make a stop on your way. Just roll empathy connections.
Not my best forte, but we'll do it.
That's just to see how nice a pawn shop you get, or like
Okay.
a pawn shop, what kind of deal they really make.
Okay, gotcha.
So the more successes, the more likely you are to come out ahead on your selling.
Find a good place. I got stuff to sell too.
No successes.
Okay.
Oh.
So you end up in front of a glass counter. There's a bald guy that looks at you and says, "The best I can do is 2 Chinyan points."
That's fine.
Okay. And he writes up the paper and hands you the money, and you're good.
Great. That's 2 Chinyan I didn't have before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're poor.
With more successes, you could have gotten a lot more. But
Fair enough. I don't think
It's
she probably knows what the stuff is worth and doesn't really care. She's free money here. Just...
yeah, you did it. You have something. Cool. You get back to your apartment. Things are calm. Brick is waiting, doing the hidey hole thing, like in a random spot. In this case, your couch is like 6 feet away from the wall.
She's like pushed it to
Yeah.
hide behind it.
It's like at an angle though.
You can't see me. 200-pound dog.
Just little tufts of hair out over the top. You know, just a little.
I feel like she's like loudly like, "Huh, I wonder where Brick is."
And then you just start hearing.
The tail.
Buddy.
Yeah.
And then eventually hops out on the couch like, "Hi, welcome home." Roll a d8,
Okay.
and we'll see how the rest of the night goes for you.
I got an 8.
Oh,
Nice. I hope.
I don't know if that's
I know. Like,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I hope it's good. I hope it's good. Let it be good.
oh, it's gonna be good.
Oh.
Oh no.
Don't like that italicized good.
2 dead bodies.
No. So you get a phone call,
Okay.
and it is the Wallace AI that you guys have interacted with on the vid phones and stuff
Uh-huh.
before. That after it's made the connection, you can see that it does like some kind of verification thing of like who you are, right? Like visually, like you see the face, and the face does like a full like literally like they're scanning you
Yeah.
from top to bottom kind of thing. And when it's done, the AI goes, "There's a problem with a Wallace employee. I'm trying to notify you ahead of when you'll hear through official channels. But this is an emergency. I would prepare yourself."
Prepare myself for what?
There has been some violent crime committed.
Can you tell me
I'm not sure what.
who the
I'm-
employee is?
And it almost looks like they're fighting with themselves. you and your group have interacted with Senior Vice President Quell from our PR team. And it appears that Quell has been the victim of this crime.
Oh.
I should not be making this phone call, and there will be no record of it on your phone.
I appreciate it. Do you know Quell's last location?
Yes, and gives you like this Wallace housing unit.
Oh no.
Okay.
It's not in the main building, but it's another building now.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not able to see inside to know what happened.
Do you know how long ago it occurred?
Sometime in the last 7 or 8 minutes has been when I've been blacked out.
Okay. Thank you for the information. Is there a way to contact you off record if necessary?
You can always just call our main switchboard line and I'll answer.
Okay. I didn't hear this information from you, but my colleagues will be notified, obviously.
Certainly, certainly. Thank you. I appreciate your discretion.
Get right on it.
I'm stepping a little outside my bounds here.
I understand that.
From what I've gathered, you and your team are used to that.
Yeah, sometimes the bounds are a little not conducive to getting the job done.
Indeed. In an effort to assist the situation and prevent any further problems, I'm trying to move things along quickly.
I have a weird question. Do you know if Quell knew Judge's name? Judge Amalfi? Amari?
Oh, the original judge.
The original judge.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they were familiar with each other. They moved in a similar circle of social status. I don't have any records available of direct, regular communication.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, I wouldn't have called them friends, but acquaintances, certainly.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll let you know if I have other questions.
Very good.
Looks like I've got somewhere to be.
Well, I appreciate it again.
No problem.
And this time it actually hangs up. You don't get the customer service
Mm-hmm.
routine.
I think the rest of the team immediately gets a KIA message that's like, we have a problem.
I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Will it wake me up?
And I'll give them I won't give them like the source of the information, but I'll let you guys know that an anonymous source told me that something happened to Quell and I'm heading to check it out.
Is there a way to silence the KIA as in you would going to see a live performance with your cell phone?
Yeah.
Pretty sure mine's on silent.
Okay.
Don't know if I'm going to get that message.
Entirely fair.
That is also that's a you choice.
Yeah.
Haru's experiencing live music for the first time in a real meaningful way. I don't think that they're paying attention to their KIA. Which, you did the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not neither here nor there if you guys get the message.
It'll
She's going one way or the other.
problem for future us.
You mean fifth shift us?
Yours the only one that's like bright and chipper in the morning. Like, I slept great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if I go do this now, that means my downtime is not a downtime.
No, I'll give you your downtime
Okay.
still, but you're only going to get one result back.
That's fine. That's all I need.
Oh, okay.
Sweet.
Okay. So, let's go to the after party. You guys filter into, it's kind of like a banquet hall adjacent. You know, there's seating for people around, and it's set up like a typical sort of reception party at like a big event. Tables around the outside. There's a little milling around dance floor. Nobody's dancing, but it's there. there's another buffet set up and a bar at the end. Eventually, you see that there's other musicians that file into like a balcony up top, and they start playing like chamber music. Just stuff that you've never heard before. But like the harpist is up there, and yeah, it's a whole bunch of people up there that are just playing down to the crowd. And people are milling around and having conversations, and you can see that there's sort of a line of folks or a gaggle of folks that are trying to get up and do some FaceTime with the maestro and the pianist, soloist. And yeah, you're let loose on this hall. After they scan your little ticket, you can come right in.
Okay, how difficult would it be to kind of cut our way through the swath of people to the maestro and the soloist?
It wouldn't be that hard. If you want to like elbow your way to the front, that would be a little weird.
Right.
But you could get over there and kind of join the herd and spend a few minutes filtering closer until you're actually saying hi.
Okay.
Kind of depends on how you want to work that.
Right. So the maestro and the soloist were two people that our victim spoke to.
Pretty immediately before.
So I definitely want to speak with them. The judge may know something if he's still here. He seemed rather unsure of himself. He was going to make it to the party. Is he there?
Do intelligence observation.
Okay. Intelligence observation. 2d8s. Nope, that's d10. 7 and an 8.
All right.
The judge is posted up at the end of the bar on a stool.
Yeah.
And he's got his big shillelagh cane just casually leaning up against the bar, sort of next to him. Like it doesn't even occur to him that somebody could come by and be like, that's $3 million worth of wood. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, not even a care. And he's just sitting there. He already has like an empty glass, and he has another one that he's drinking something out of.
Oh, good. Love that. What about his 6-foot-tall bodyguard who seemed kind of menacing?
Not immediately next to him, but you can see him sort of standing off behind a fern, some kind of a planted thing. Not like peering through it like noir, with like camouflage makeup on.
Full Homer Simpson. Just
but like just trying to look like he's not right there next to him.
Okay.
But he's still within a step and a half that he could get over there and do something if something were to go weird.
Does he appear to be drinking anything, holding anything?
He's got a glass. It's a clear liquid in the glass. And it's got a little like lime on a toothpick sort of garnish to it. You can't tell what it is from here.
Okay.
He's holding it in his hand. You've not really seen him drinking much, but he takes a sip occasionally.
Could be
Okay.
water, could be GNT.
Oh, I want a G&T now. Susceptible. So that guy over there, bodyguard of the judge, fits the description of someone they saw leaving and entering the victim's apartment. May not be a bad idea to get some kind of fingerprints, some kind of DNA.
I could do that.
I love that. Why don't will you go ahead and take care of that? I'll talk to the judge, see if I can get anything out of him while we wait for the crowd to
Disperse a little. Also, I feel like having a bunch of prying eyes on us actively asking whether or not they know anything about the murder of somebody. This doesn't seem like a crowd's going to keep that to themselves.
And you said you'd be uncomfortable in a place like this.
Oh, I'm intensely uncomfortable, but I'm used to everyone listening to everything I say.
Just like a fish to water.
That's terrifying. I'm gonna go rough up a 6-foot-tall guy.
Thank God I did that already. Yeah, so we'll go and
Well, let's take care of
Roughing up a
what's
6-foot-tall guy?
what's your plan?
As much as it's... Oh, yes, I'm going to go rough him up. Haru is going to go to the bar, get I think actually a G&T.
Okay.
Look to make sure that it's garnished similarly. And bring it over to this bodyguard kind of to flirt their way into getting them to pay attention and trading glasses.
Okay. Well, it's easy enough to get a similar looking drink,
Mm-hmm.
right? No problem. And at first they're pulling out a gin that's got like a bright purple tint to it, but then you're like, no.
No.
And
I
they
need
go
something
back.
simple.
Yeah. They go back and do pull out a different one and mix you a drink that looks just the same as what you can see over there.
Perfect.
That's no problem. Getting over there, what's your approach? Like what?
Haru, who is probably shorter than this fern,
Sure.
approaching from the bar side and just kind of like pretending to casually walk over and like lean against the planter and to kind of like look at the fern and be like, is this a real fern? The discerning eye of a wealthy person would clearly wonder whether or not this is a real fern, right? This is how rich people behave. They have no idea what they're doing. But they're gonna walk over and inspect the fern and be like, "Oh, I didn't see you there."
Okay. You look at the fern, you get over to it, and by golly, it's a real fern.
That's unhinged of them.
And there's probably about 10 of them spaced out through the room.
They do like take a moment and genuinely sniff the leaves of this fern.
Sure. And I mean, you even get the smell of the pot on the earth that it's in, and you know it's well balanced, and someone takes very good care of the. And you can actually tell when you're thinking about it. You can tell that in this room there's like air scrubbers and circulators going that weren't in the main concert hall, probably just to keep these ferns happy and healthy and everything.
Wild.
And like they probably kick in to balance like CO2 levels when there's people in here versus when there's not. It's all kinds of stuff like that.
I think that they were gonna be like, "Oh, I didn't see you there," and just kind of like pretend like they didn't see the 6 foot tall person standing behind the fern when they walked over. But they genuinely are like, "Can you believe that this is real?"
Do an empathy manipulation.
Yeah.
Is this really happening?
Is this really happening?
Just fern-based flirting with Haru.
Arborist, general plant enthusiast, I guess.
Gosh.
We're pushing. That's
Oh my
that's
god.
a stone cold tragedy. That's not happening here.
That's a given when the plant's involved. How do we put this?
I was just burn.
Burn!
You just run up to a stranger, and go burn. Throw your drink at them.
Yeah.
Burn.
Oh, that's so much better. One success.
Okay.
That's enough.
All right.
It was gonna be a 1.
Wow. Just give me the image.
That would
Like,
have been so delightful.
how are we doing this
It'd
David
be a
Bowie
full-on.
impression?
How did you light it on fire?
Not the plan.
Why?
Ugh.
All right. And you see, and he kind of looks down at you, looking closely at the fern, and kind of cracks a smile, right? Like, yeah, I heard that they spend millions every year just on this room.
It's kind of incredible. I mean,
I guess it's nice if you got it.
hey, if I get to enjoy it, I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, you see, I posted up here.
Yeah. You, working or enjoying or a bit of both?
Well, mostly working.
Mm.
And he kind of gives like the head nod over
Mhm.
to the judge at the counter.
Well, see, we've got similar taste, and they hold up their glass and kind of swirl it around a little.
Cheers.
And, how full is his drink?
Just a couple of swallows down.
Uh-huh.
Full.
Haru throws back their whole drink.
Okay.
I'm going back. Do you want another?
Oh, well, sure.
Here. I'll take your glass.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
They take it and they go back and they get 2, but they do not return one of the glasses. And they very carefully just slip it into their coat as best as they are able on the way back.
All right. Do an agility stealth.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Got good numbers and things.
Is it okay? I was gonna ask. Is this decent ability for Haru?
Yes.
Okay.
I gotta roll in the tray though. Hey, 2 successes.
Okay. That's good, because you needed to.
What?
This is a trained security replicant
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
knows what he's doing and was watching.
Yeah.
But you managed to casually get to the bar and make it look like you set down 2 glasses.
In the pile of like
Yeah.
the empties pile on the tray that all bars seem to end up with. Yeah.
Nice.
And you notice, since you got 2 successes, you notice that he watches very carefully.
Mhm.
Right? Like, you're not passing your hand over his glass. You're not doing it, and like, you're not fiddling with a ring or jewelry or anything. And he's just like, cool, all right.
Calm, cool, and collected. Constantly lying. Very good at this.
He probably wasn't watching for you to steal his glass as much as he's watching to make sure that you're not
Putting something in
putting
his
something
drink.
in his
Yeah.
drink. Yeah.
But yeah, they get 2 more. They go over, bring them back.
Sure.
Happy to continue to talk about ferns and how much money people are spending on them.
And yeah, I think he is too, right? He's just like, and you can see he relaxes a little bit into chatting with somebody that's not his principal,
Mhm.
right? Like, he's not normally in a position where he's making conversation with others for real here.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually him standing around with a teammate and they're pretending to have a conversation, or they're
Yeah.
talking about work stuff.
And Haru even like pivots so that they're making it so that he has like clear line of sight on the judge to kind of be like, I get you're here working, but also we can talk.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. So yeah, you have him fully engaged
Fantastic.
throughout this party.
And if I see Gavin doing anything that would be like, hey, distract him for a minute, Haru would probably try and key into that, but for the most part, it's just going to talk to him.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the judge and kind of saddle up near him on one of the stools near the end of the bar.
Sure.
So, how did you enjoy the performance? I'm glad to see you're here.
Oh, well, I'm glad you made it as well. It was delightful. I hadn't thought about some of these pieces of music in quite a long time.
So you're familiar with the pieces?
Oh yes. I met Danny Elfman once.
That's absolutely
Yeah,
incredible.
as a kid, I would go see his. He used to be in a rock band also.
A rock band.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what you'd call it. Yeah.
The same person did all those beautiful scores was in a
Yeah.
rock band.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Believe it or not, when he started doing scoring, it's because he'd lost a lot of hearing from all the rock music. So he's kind of a, modern day Beethoven.
Who?
But
The violence.
roll an empathy manipulation with advantage.
Yeah.
Violence occurring.
Empathy manipulation. Yes, with advantage. And advantage is double on my
Double
empathy.
your yes.
Empathy. Okay. That is 2 7s and a 10.
So 4.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't know who Beethoven is.
You have to endure like a 7-minute discussion of Beethoven and how important he was. But you managed to get through that, and then you're at the helm of this conversation.
Less.
Right? Wherever you want to go, he's going to follow. He's kind of in the, like, I'm an old man school teacher mode.
Mhm.
So he's willing to impart information, especially historical information, just completely freely.
Okay.
Like if there's something specific and like weirdly personal or something, I might make you roll again. But other than that, you're pretty like if you're like, tell me how you felt about that judge, you know, like
Right.
he'd
Well,
be
that-
like, hold up.
Yeah, we are gonna get there, but I'm gonna let we're gonna kind of do a bit of a wander through music for a minute, and then
Sure.
kind of loop back around to. So, not to ruin our good time, but I am here, and I have you here, so I thought we would get some questions out of the way that we don't have to worry about setting up a second meeting at your office. Just get it taken care of, so we can get our T's crossed and I's dotted. So the judge, who was recently taken away, nailing
I
it.
think you're gonna lose one of your successes.
No, Gavin is good at this. I am failing it.
It's fine. It's fine.
Come on, Tuesday evening.
So rich.
um, um, can you tell me anything about her? Anything that maybe most people wouldn't know as someone who worked closely with her?
Oh. Well, you know, my mother always said, if you don't have a lot of good things to say about somebody, say the things people know. I don't think that's the original idiom, but it works. But I think she did a fair job. I think she might have been a better judge if she spent a little less time socializing.
Oh,
But
so she had a very
showed up to work on time.
she had a very lively social calendar.
Yeah, she had a lot of parties at her place. She came from money, so
What kind of parties? Do you know? I assume.
well, it wasn't really my scene, but she would have get-togethers with the well-to-dos pretty often, or she'd be attending events like this pretty often. And she sort of stepped above her rank in the court system a little bit because of the fact she was wealthy to start with.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't exactly work the night court shifts. She definitely used some influence to make sure that I didn't get to assign her to whatever cases I wanted. Something looked like it would be rough or a bad time. It was somebody else's name that ended up on the roster most of the time.
Well, I'll see your idiom and raise you a colloquialism.
Oh, wow. I can't wait.
I've always heard that if you don't have anything nice to say, come sit next to me.
Well, there you have it.
Can I get you another drink? It seems your drink's running dry.
Ooh,
It is a party after all.
it is. I probably should have something light. Perhaps, I haven't had one in a long time, but how about a beer?
Beer.
Yes, indeed.
All right, make that 2 beers. And so now that we're on the subject of things, and what was the typical? Were there any typical guests at these parties? Do you think? Just gossip, random rumor. I'm looking for any leads at all, really, to help
Sure.
figure out who may have done this heinous act to this poor woman. Well, not poor, apparently.
No. The people on her invite lists were the same kind of people you see around here. People that had money and liked to spend it on frivolity and luxury. Definitely leaning into a more hedonistic kind of a lifestyle. They pursued the pleasures of food and drink and people.
I can only imagine. But again, any VIPs, like any repeat visitors?
Well,
favorites?
I wasn't exactly on their weekly mailer, but I'm
sure you hear some things.
sure
Colleagues talk.
She was known to spend a great deal of time with the previous CEO of the Shimano Dominguez, one of the competing megacorps.
Oh, I gotta remove my sheet.
I'm sorry to keep adding NPCs for my own purposes too, but
We keep asking.
we
Yeah,
knew
yeah.
we knew about Shimago, didn't
Yeah, we did.
the one that was ousted actually after not getting the big Tyrell sale,
Mm.
but they'd been friends from childhood, I think.
And any idea where they might be?
Oh, I'm sure they're in their corporate tower somewhere.
Well, they do come down eventually. Even
Yeah,
Wallace made it out to this.
I know. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. He usually watches the rebroadcast. from what I
Oh.
understand.
Of course.
But I suppose even hermits like to go out sometimes. But no, I didn't see the other one here tonight. He's come before. He also paid a great deal of money into that big arboretum setup. I think he sponsored these decoration here.
Oh, intriguing. Interesting. Anybody else you can think of off the top of your head? Any kind of gossip, be it
Well, I
Above
know
board
she
and-
brought in various contract workers for some of these parties. That's what I heard anyway.
mm-hmm.
You know, hire-ins to cook and serve and be enjoyed, from what I hear.
Mm-hmm. I understand. Was there anybody who's felt that she was in their way? Anybody who didn't get along with her? Anybody who was looking for a leg up but she was preventing that?
I'm sure you could say that about just about any of the other judges on the circuit.
Oh.
As she dodged out of, like I said, the dirty work a lot of
Sure.
the time.
It's not quite the big happy family.
No, but how many coworkers do you deal with that you're not friends with?
I take a big swig of beer.
So, you know, there's only so many times that you don't get assigned to arraign people in other time zones
Mm-hmm.
that somebody else is in working all night.
I find the name. The name of the prosecutor, the replicant prosecutor,
Mason?
Mason. Did she have any strong opinions about Mason? Did Mason have any strong opinions about her?
Oh,
I have to admit, having a replicant prosecutor is quite the anomaly.
it is. It is. I've actually been quite impressed. I actually, and here's one of your successes. Gets this out of him. I've been looking at promoting him into the seat. You know, going from a judge that wanted the least amount of work possible to a judge that seems like they've got a really strong work ethic might be just what we need to get the court working a little faster.
I'm sure it's helpful when you don't have to sleep, right?
Oh well, yeah, that would be the case, but you know, I have some feelers out, kind of doing a little research and checking in on Mason before I make anything official. But
Well, if your investigation uncovers anything that might help our investigation, I would definitely appreciate it.
certainly, I know he's appeared in her court several times, but I can't I can't tell you there was any direct animosity or problems. You know, when you're a prosecutor, cases will go your way or they won't. And sometimes you show up with a bad case, or you're stuck with a bad case. So most of the time, they don't really blame judges for that. Certainly, I don't think enough to have them brutally killed, or do it themselves. Heaven forbid. I don't see that kind of rivalry there.
That's good to know. Well, again, if you think of anything else in the hand him card.
Certainly. And he pulls out a card and hands it back to you. And yeah, if you hear anything, especially about Mason here, let me know.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd be happy to hear anything you find.
Yes, we want to make sure that seat gets filled with the
I'm
appropriate
hoping
person.
in the next week or so.
Oh, that quickly.
Yes. So the card that he pulls out to you is not a piece of like flimsy plast. It's an actual full-on
Embossed
American Psycho.
eggshell white.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that slight texture to it, the parchment texture.
Yeah.
And it's got like the UN symbol is the embossing on it. And he goes, well, there you are.
Thank you. You have a good night.
You as well. And he kind of spins over towards his bodyguard and kind of makes I'm a little drunk, but it's time to go, gesture.
I think in the duration of the conversation, Haru tries to pick up the bodyguard's name.
Sure.
Kind of just the basics, just to make sure that when we look him up later, we have all of the right information.
Absolutely. His name, write it down. Is Logan.
Great.
And he doesn't give you a serial number.
Is he a replicant, though?
Clearly
Yeah,
seems like it.
he's a replicant. Yeah.
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 I mean, if he's not, he's very sharp-eyed for a human.
Yeah.
And he's
Haru assumed that he was a replicant.
And he doesn't shy away from it. It's not like he's trying to make it a secret.
Yeah.
Like,
Haru doesn't really hide it either. Just two replicants talking about trees. Normal.
for sure.
Totally fine. Cool. And then I guess, how's the crowd look around the maestro and the
Let's
soloist?
thinned out a little bit. There's a bunch of people that do the rush. And then they kind of break off to go get food and beverages and that kind of stuff. And the two of them, they kind of seem to be sticking together.
Okay.
Right? Like, if at least there's somebody else going through this with me, I can make it through the kind of situation.
I'm
But both
assuming,
seem happy. Like, both are smiling. They're not, oh, God, these people.
I'm assuming that Wallace is not here.
Wallace is here. He has sort of set up court at a table in the sort of back corner of the room.
Okay.
And he's got essentially like a double-shelled screen of security people around him, and they're letting through, like, they're using it almost like a holding pen. So, like, people that want to talk with him that seem to have a legit reason, they get let past the first row.
Yeah.
And then one at a time, people are let past the second.
Jesus.
Who then come and sit at the table next to him, and he seems to have a little conversation with them and then send them on their way.
Cool. Every so often, Haru's just been looking that way then. Just fully, every so often distracted by, I don't know, being in the presence of essentially their maker.
For sure. I think, are you both going to make your way over to the
Yeah.
performers?
I'll signal over to Haru.
I think when you start walking over towards the maestro and the pianist, you hear the shuffle of people moving around, and you see that double wall of security has ejected all of the other people and folded back in around Wallace, and he is up, and they are taking him out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder what that's about.
And there's some people like, oh, excuse me,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But there's no obvious thing happening in the room other than he is gone.
Yeah, he is leaving. I don't know. I don't pretend to understand what makes him tick.
Wouldn't surprise me if he did actually tick.
I do think as they exit the room, you notice outside the windows that all of the exterior lights go out. Like, it was a coordinated moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you definitely get the feeling like they have exited the room, all the lights outside shut down as a security measure. So that they're not obviously just walking across the open space to a vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Kind
see.
of a thing.
I get
like,
you.
that's the vibe you get.
Yeah, like one of them has the clicker.
Oh, or somebody's connected to a network that turned off
Yeah.
these lights for a security reason.
Yeah.
To make it harder for someone with a gun, for example.
Yeah, to spot him,
Or whatever.
even though he's got creepy eyes.
Right.
Well, not if he's looking down.
Men like him are always looking down.
Yikes. So, we were going to go talk to the other less important people, right? Right.
Just to confirm what they were talking about, see if they have any ideas who our victim might have left with.
Learn anything juicy from the judge?
Oh, God. Quite a bit. This actual paper business card.
I hate these people. I got and they kind of just pull open their color. They're about to show like, do you want to buy a watch? But there's a glass in there.
I knew I could rely on you. I knew it.
I try, and it's like wrapped in their pocket essentially, so that it's not like being rubbed or anything, and they're kind of hunched around it a little.
Yes.
They're skinny and little.
We may want to check in with Olivia. It seems the victim hosted quite a few parties at her place and attended other parties of a hedonistic nature. Could be someone who was let into their home on the regular, who knew how to get in. Someone who maybe had stayed there and hid there.
Huh. It's a big enough place. I could see how you could lose someone.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see if we can find out what was on the itinerary recently.
But first, those two.
And you make your way over. If you don't want to insert yourself, it's going to take you like 2 or 3 minutes to kind of meander your way up through the crowd, kind of deal. If you wanted to like strong arm your way, you could get there immediately.
Oh no,
No.
we don't want to draw too much attention.
So you blend in, you make it up to them, and both of them are like, "Oh, well, I hope you enjoyed the performance."
It was amazing.
The pianist speaks with the deep voice that only an incredibly long
Yeah.
esophagus
Haru's like
can
this.
resonate. But is very gracious, and I hope you enjoyed the concert. I'm privileged to be back to do this. It's been quite some time since I was here in Los Angeles for an extended run.
Oh, where have you been?
Well, I've toured most of the other cities.
Wonderful. This was my colleague's first live music performance ever.
Oh, how delightful! How delightful!
It was remarkable. To think that any one person can make all that noise is wild.
That's one way to look at it. I like that very much. And you can see the maestro kind of going, I guess.
There's a bit of like a,
They're just like, what?
all right.
And the maestro says, well, I certainly hope that you can attend again.
I would love to. social calendar gets a little complicated. But if I can ever make it back.
Well, we certainly will look forward to it.
Now, we are here on a professional errand. We are currently investigating. Has the death of the judge been made public yet?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Okay.
it's out there in the news that
Okay.
this judge has passed.
Okay.
The details, not so much.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we're here seeing what we can find out about the last few hours that Judge...
Amari Belsley.
That's them.
Oh.
Spent.
Yes, a tragedy.
Yes, it really is. As we're trying to figure out, piece together her last couple hours, where she was, who she spoke with, her demeanor, who she may have been with.
Oh, well. She greatly enjoyed the performance the other night. Came and spoke with us at length about some of the music and things she hadn't heard before. And
How familiar are you both with Judge Belsley?
well, she's been a regular here at the Symphony.
So only here.
I've attended a few parties she's thrown. This is the maestro.
Yeah.
I've attended a few parties she's thrown, and she's always been a wonderful host. And her apartment is beautiful.
It really is.
Any parties recently that she may have thrown that you may have attended or that you know of?
Oh, the last one was probably a month back. I mean, it's been a bit. I think she invites me to show off that she's cultured.
And what
You
was your general impression of the judge and her demeanor? And
Oh, she seemed nice enough. She always wanted to be the most interesting person in the room, which can grow a little tedious sometimes. But other than that, fine enough. Certainly, that's not a rare thing amongst people.
oh, absolutely not. Was she with anybody when she was here last?
This is out of character. I think her assistant dropped her off.
Yeah.
Yes, she
but was
went
not
in.
here during the
Olivia
performance,
came and
and she left
dropped
on
her
her
off.
own.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So no, I she attended on her own. She's friendly with other people that have seats around her, so she often.
Is she friendly with Mr. Wallace?
Oh, I don't know if anyone's friendly with Mr. Wallace.
Have to get past the barrier.
I'm not certain Mr. Wallace is friendly with himself.
Why would you say that?
Well, he comes and attends, but he rarely shows much appreciation.
That's what happens when you can make your own friends.
I suppose that's true. You don't have to work very hard if you get to, And she kind of chuckles and goes, I hadn't thought of it that way. Why bother learning social niceties if you can tell people what's nice?
Well, at least you're here to show us actually nice things. Do you both have a way that we can contact you outside in case we have any further questions?
Who exactly are you here working for?
Oh, badge.
Yeah.
Oh,
I apologize.
Was there something untoward about her demise?
We're just doing due diligence, making sure that we understand everything that happened.
Ooh,
She was important enough. Maybe not the most interesting person in the room, but definitely someone that
certainly.
gotta check all the boxes. Make
Mhm.
sure she.
I understand. Things have to be done correctly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting though. Well, certainly. And she she
Yeah.
gestures off her contact information. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Are there people that you would have noticed at these parties that were regular visitors, regular guests, or anybody you think that we may benefit talking to who maybe knew her relatively well?
Even if you just have names, we can circle back with her personal assistant.
Oh, well, she did always gravitate around. What's his name? Jaden, I believe is his name. He used to be a big CEO, but his board voted him out years back.
Do I know who Jaden is?
Jaden is the Shimano Dominguez
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
Huh.
He attends regularly here at the concerts as well.
I didn't see him tonight. Did you?
No, I didn't. I haven't. I certainly haven't seen him yet. And she kind of looks around the room.
All right.
Was he in attendance the last night that she was here?
Yes, They chat with each other. They have seats near each other. He's a big sponsor.
And has he attended any of the parties that you attended?
Yes.
Hmm.
But I'm not telling you that I saw them doing anything untoward.
No,
Oh,
not
of
at
course
all.
not.
Anything like that.
Just another piece in a interesting puzzle. Someone as well connected as she was.
Certainly. And he's never been anything but kind.
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think I have any further questions.
Mm-mm.
Well, thank you both for a lovely evening. It was
absolutely
spellbinding.
This was fun.
Yes,
It's interesting to talk to people about something other than the music once in a while.
I'm sure.
You probably get a lot of that in your line of work, that most of the people that talk to you want to talk about police things.
I'd never really thought of it that way, but I think you're right. It can sometimes be hard to make an actual connection. Isn't that right, Haru?
Haru is actively searching for words. This is something that they clearly have not put any thought towards whatsoever. Usually that's not the first thing that I think of when I think of the things that people talk to me about. Maybe I just don't notice. Anyways, you did a wonderful job. I'm going to be thinking about some of that for a very long time.
Oh, wonderful. Sometimes that's the spark that gets the creative spirit going. So maybe someday you can come back and play with us.
I didn't know I had one. Maybe I do.
I would love to see Haru play with you all here.
Thank you. Haru just turns. Just oh, no, this is now awkward. I don't know what to say.
And I think the pianist catches it and is like,
All right, I'll excuse us from the conversation.
cool. You guys are good. All right. Is there anything else at the party you wanted to do before you go? And a few moments into your conversation, you see the lights outside the windows come back.
Okay.
I think at this point, Haru finally checks their KIA. I'm assuming that it is around that time that we've gotten this message from Kestrel.
You got the message from Kestrel, lining it up in your head, almost the same time that Wallace was taken out. Like that timing lined up.
And I think Haru, who never shows anybody their KIA, ever, even if it would be so much easier for this to occur, just fully points it at you, Gavin.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, we need to go.
I look at it. I go, turn mine back on. Shit. Shit. Okay. Shit. And we go.
Okay. If you'll excuse me a moment, I need to use the restroom.
Yeah.
I will be right back.
Oh,
After these messages.
sounds like Wallace's team got a
I feel like
phone
it's
call
too early to
too.
take a real break.
Yeah, they...
What did you say, Sam?
It sounds like Wallace's team got a phone call too.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Yeah.
Shunted everyone in the room out,
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Part of me really hopes this happened at Wallace Corp.
Wow.
Yeah, me too.
Why? So we go in?
I want to go touch it.
Yeah.
Well, I just want the
Someone else already
idea
has.
that Prince Prospero's castle is not impenetrable.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh, it's been penetrated.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh.
You guys just don't know it. Because that's how Fjor is.
wow.
No, sorry, that was so awkward. Oh, God. Rewind, delete.
Choices.
No.
Choices were
Words
made.
have meaning.
Mm.
That one was also innuendo.
Oh my
Uh.
goodness gracious.
Yeah, I've been there.
Well, we've
I
all
think it's
been
just
there.
us that hasn't
Oh yeah, just you two haven't been
been. Weird.
Mm-mm.
Can't imagine why.
Nope.
No, I was at,
hiding from something.
No, I was at Wallace. I spoke to that engineer.
No, we're the only ones
Yeah.
that have it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We have.
Yeah.
All right.
You missed nothing. Nothing bad was said.
Feelings.
Something about entering Wallace.
Oh. The different show than I prep.
Happy Jacks. Night.
All right. So,
Excuse me.
Kestrel, you'll get there first.
Okay.
Um,
Are we still in shift 4?
yes.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
That's what, so I know where to put my notes
Sure.
in the little
Sure.
box.
This is like the tail end of shift 4.
Okay.
So if this becomes a long, drawn-out thing, it's going to roll over.
We'll see what happens.
That'll be really funny, honestly.
That's real cute.
It's gonna be really cute for me.
Okay. So you arrive at this obelisk of a tower. It's obviously done in the same design as the Wallace mega structure.
Okay.
Ziggurat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got windows. Like the
Mhm.
main Wallace building does not really have a lot. This you can see that there's on the two sides. It's got almost similar to the old World Trade Center building, in that it's got like strips of stone and windows between
Okay.
down the two sides of the building, and then on the outside edges it looks like there's actually like step out balconies up and down.
Okay.
But it is a Wallace controlled and owned building that they provide for housing or whatever storage they need, whatever.
Gotcha.
What's your approach?
I'm gonna take a spinner, I guess. Does
Sure.
it have like an obvious entrance?
Yeah, I mean, taking an LAPD spinner, you can land where you want to land.
Yeah. I just
So
want to go to where likely the security desk is to be like, hey, there's a problem.
sure. You get there, you land, and it's a secure sort of landing thing about halfway up the tower.
Okay.
It's like protrudes off, a la, Star Wars cities,
Mhm.
where like it's just kind of a outgrowth on the side of the building.
Precarious, unrailed.
Well, this has like a safety, like a half height kind of retaining wall around the outside edge, but it's not full Star Wars.
Push somebody
or
over
Lord-
that easy.
Lord of the Rings dwarf architecture.
Yeah.
Like,
No OSHA here, baby.
Got a handrail in sight.
yep. But you land there, and you can see that behind like a glass set of doors, you can see that there's some kind of a reception desk, and sitting behind it there are two. They look like almost like armed patrol cops,
Okay.
but they're not actual LAPD. Like they're dressed like police officers, but it's a security guard kind of a
Right.
gig.
So she'll walk up to the glass and just hold her badge up at them.
Sure. And it takes a minute, but one of them is like, "Oh," and lets you in the door. And says, "What can we do for you?"
Hi, I'm Kestrel with the LAPD. I got a call from a colleague to come and check on one of your residents.
Oh, all right. And just one second, like asks to see your badge.
Yeah.
Scans it with the machine and hands it back. You can see that one guy's got a full Last Starfighter, like fold over the eye thing.
Yes.
That's kind of
Commander
like,
Krill.
yeah. And he kind of, after your badge is scanned, it's clear he like gets your public
Yeah.
information there and makes sure it's you, and goes, "All right, well, just one second." And he kind of logs in your arrival and that he's going to escort you to where you need to go.
Mhm.
So we just need to know an apartment number or
I assume I
resident
got
name.
that
Sure.
from
Yeah.
the AI, and I'll give it to him.
Oh, very good. I'll take you up. And he stands up and the little thing retracts and he walks you over to an elevator that whisks you upstairs. Not as smoothly as the other UN building elevator that didn't really feel like you were moving.
Mm-hmm.
But this one gives you that impression of slightly more G's as you start to rise. And you get up to a floor that is very nice. It's all done in the Wallace stone kind of a theme of the interior hallway. And he takes you over to a door that isn't sealed all the way.
Okay.
There's fabric stuck in the door.
Okay.
Be bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of looks at that and is like, all right. I just will need your badge again to open the door, or are you ringing?
I think we're gonna go in. We're gonna go in quietly. You're gonna be my backup.
Oh. All right. And like
He made this guy's day.
he
Come on,
like,
Paul Blart.
he takes a step back and he reaches down and he
Exactly.
pulls out like sort of a stun stick kind of a
Uh-huh.
thing. Like you can see he kind of turns it on and he's like, okay. You just have to present your badge to the terminal.
I will. We're gonna go in there. If you see anyone suspicious, you can use that. If you see anything suspicious, you're not gonna touch it.
All right.
Got it?
Sure.
Okay.
You should maybe yell suspicious. If you think I should have said it. I don't know if it's just a person that should be there. I don't want to hit them.
Look for somebody that looks like they're about to do or has done a crime.
Oh, okay.
I'm about to show up here. Are you sure that's what you want to do?
Yeah.
In the apartment specifically.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I'm ready. If it comes down to it, we'll roll and see how well he does.
This is really good.
Worst case
can't wait.
scenario, this guy's gonna be a meat shield.
Well, worst case scenario, this guy hits you by accident.
Well, that's true.
You look suspicious.
We'll see. Well, no,
Yeah.
he'll just be like, ah!
How did this guy get this
The
job?
panic
I
swing.
love this guy.
Who tries to rob a Wallace building? Nobody.
True.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
He's a door monitor.
Yeah. He's the person that will accept packages.
Yeah, I've lived that life.
Based on his line of questioning, she's gonna actually, you know what? What's gonna be really important is for you to make sure nobody else comes in this apartment. So you're gonna
Oh.
stay right here.
Oh, all right.
Got it?
I can do that.
Great.
Okay, and he kind of turns around and he's looking down the hallway in both directions, like
Now he's gonna hit Haru.
he's ready
Now
Probably,
Now
yeah.
it's me.
Okay.
for sure. You guys are
Uh,
gonna get out of the elevator. He's just gonna be like, ah, full Han Soloing it.
Good. Screaming, running, shooting.
Yelling, suspicious.
All right.
Oh,
So I'm gonna
alright.
scan my badge. I'm gonna take the fabric and pocket it because it's evidence. I
Sure.
have gloves on.
So, as you scan your badge, a display lights up, and it kind of goes through a whole, like, double checks with the LAPD, and it registers the fact that you're opening this door with the LAPD, and all of that. You actually see on the screen, it says, sort of like in the middle of this text readout, you catch your eye because it blinks twice. It says, "Thank you."
Aww.
And then proceeds to scroll off the screen. And the door slides open silently.
Mm-hmm.
You catch the piece of fabric. It looks like a part of a coat. Kind of.
Okay.
And inside you find a minimalist-looking apartment. It's very nice, but Spartan,
Great.
right?
Good line of sight.
Like,
That's true.
not to go back to Star Trek: The Next Generation again, but it's kind of like Data's
Mm.
quarters,
Oh.
right? Like, there is a bed.
Minus spot.
Right, there is no animal
Oh.
inside. And there's no, like, homemade art anywhere. But it's that, like, there's clearly a work desk that's set up. And you see, it's a sort of a studio apartment, but it's very nice.
Okay.
And it does have a balcony. You can
Great.
tell because the door's open and the breeze is blowing the curtains.
Ah, okay.
Ooh.
So I am going in gun drawn.
Sure. When you get 2 steps inside, you see that what little furniture there is in this place has been pushed to the sides of the space.
Okay.
You can tell because spread out on the floor is, I guess maybe the right would be a diorama of Quell,
Oh.
Cool.
made from Quell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep.
Where like every joint has been disconnected and spaced out, and there's a holographic display of the names of all the bones and
Whoa.
ligaments and everything that kind of is shifting in this kaleidoscope of medical terms. But literally every piece has been cut and separated and laid out. Almost like if you watch The Expanse, did you at all?
Yes.
There's that bit where the alien intelligence or whatever explodes out the spacecraft
Mhm.
probe with people in it, and everything just kind of comes apart. It's like that, where Quill has just been separated into constituent joints.
Gotcha. So it's like one of those plastic model sheets where you gotta pop out all the little bits,
Kind
but
of.
without the
Yeah.
Yes.
structure. Okay.
But instead of sprues that you'd have to cut and sand,
Yeah.
it's holographic little pointers.
It's like how they recommend disassembling clocks.
Yes,
you lay it out in
lay everything
diagram.
out on a clean
Yep.
surface
You
and
mark it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay. I'm
Normal.
gonna not touch any of that. I'm gonna clear the room and make sure nobody's in here.
You don't see us all.
Okay.
You can go and clear the bathroom. There's
Yeah.
nobody in there. However, there is a rime of blood in the tub in the
Okay.
bathroom
Hmm.
All right.
because the diorama is mostly bloodless.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the door, and I'm gonna tell our friendly, not very good security guard, we're gonna have some more LAPD officers coming here.
Oh, all right. Is everything all right?
No,
Oh,
I'm gonna need you to go back down to the front desk, and you're gonna let my colleagues in.
Oh, very good. I can do that. Is there an ongoing threat I should lock down the building, or?
Unlikely. The perpetrator has probably already left the building. What is your security camera situation?
It's all controlled by the Wallace Central Intelligence.
Okay. Do you have access to that footage, or will I need to contact Wallace for it?
We don't have access to that here.
Okay. Does your system log when people come in and out residence?
I'm sure it does, yes.
Okay, and you don't have access to that.
No.
Great. You're good. You can go back to your desk now.
All right. Sorry I couldn't be of more help.
No, this was great. You didn't let anybody in the hallway.
You're right. I did not see anyone.
Perfect.
Good job, buddy.
It's like 3 a.m.
Uh,
Yeah.
This man.
I wasn't even supposed to be here today.
yeah.
So he wanders off back down the hallway.
Dismiss.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna call it in. I'm gonna send you guys a message first. And just say, I think we have a serial. Quell is dead. Get here.
Bisected
ASAP.
question mark.
Little more than.
Quad-sected?
Keep the numbers going up. You just get back. There's a lot of parts.
Yikes.
Oh yeah. And then after I alert the team, I'll call it into dispatch.
When you call it in, dispatch takes the report, and in the process of taking the report, like is automatically, like you can tell dispatch is doing a lot of subroutines, right? The first being that the hallway that you're in, the lighting in the hallway turns to like emergency red and blue.
Mm-hmm.
And going up and down the hallway, you hear all of the other apartments lock.
Great.
Like you hear like chunk, like big chunky deadbolt kind of lock noises. The doors out onto the balcony
Mm-hmm.
also slide shut
Okay.
and lock.
Annoying.
I mean, I'm sure you could get them
Yeah.
open again. Like,
Reopen.
it's not impossible to reopen.
Yeah.
It's just to secure the
Sure,
scene kind
yeah.
of situation.
That makes sense.
No, break them down.
I
We're
mean,
coming.
yeah, they're
We're
some
the
kind
ones
of a
that'll
glass
definitely
door,
be the
right?
one doing
Through
it.
the window,
Yeah.
through the patio door, not the
Yeah.
She understands security wise, but she's a little bit like, you moved something in my crime scene.
Yeah.
Well, on the plus side, the dispatch doesn't leave fingerprints,
That's true. Yeah.
so it's good. The three of you at that point, you guys are on the way, but the three of you all get like an official, like, this goes through your do not disturb mode,
Yeah.
kind of big alert thing. And yeah, that's what you, and dispatch is like, it's been reported, backups on the way. I've sent uniformed officers to make sure the building maintains security, and your team has been alerted.
Appreciate it.
I've also contacted the deputy chief and my counterpart at the Wallace Corporation.
Good job.
I
Very
think
good.
in transit, Haru puts the glass somewhere safe so that we're not entering an active crime scene with possibly evidence from a different crime.
Thank you for knowing
Related
exactly what I'm going
crime?
to tell you to do. Exactly first thing out of the car.
You can just set it in the cup holder.
No, it goes in like a special evidence container because knowing
Sure.
Haru, they'd also pick it up and try and drink out of it.
Sure.
The fabric that was in the door that looks like part of a coat, does the color match the murderer that we saw on
It does.
Ah,
Yeah.
6 foot tall, missing part of a coat now.
Mhm.
Building a profile.
Although that does kind of make our glass rather mute.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's fine.
I
It's
mean, he
fine.
might have been very busy before the concert.
Yeah, it's true.
Depends
Oh,
what
that's
time
true.
it-
We don't know if time of death.
time of- yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on how long it took me to get there, because they lost contact 7 minutes before the AI called me, and then however long it took me to get there.
Elimination is also good. Yeah.
Okay.
How do
You did a good job keeping that guy out of the room
I did, yeah.
because he would have lost it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Here's a really normal situation, bud.
Yeah, I think like halfway through that conversation, she was like, "This guy is not prepared for any of this."
For sure. All right. So the two of you arrive. Fjor, are you getting up for the call, or are you just gonna
Yeah,
ride
yeah,
up the shift?
that would be my wake-up call.
Okay.
So I would head over.
Cool. So you can head over. You'll get there in a minute. You're in a spinner, so you can get there fast. It's not a problem. You two arrive, and you can see that the building has like all of its exterior floodlighting turned on.
Mm-hmm.
There are other spinners that were parked in this landing zone. You can see like the LAPD one that's parked there, but other than that, all of the other spinners are like lifting off and making space. Like they're going somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But gives you plenty of space to land. When you get landed, you see the two guys behind the desk, and the one guy's like, like he's making all kinds of gestures at the other one. The other one's like, what? And they're kind of looking around at the lighting, and they're like,
One looking like James Bond over here.
Right,
Oh yeah,
though?
you
Yeah.
two in your outfit.
Yes.
I cannot wait until Kestrel sees your outfit.
Yes.
Haru has only retamed their hair, and that is the only change that they have made.
Excellent.
They still look like they are out on the town.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There is no time.
I'm sorry. It's just,
And I'm gonna make very sure that everybody else handles the gross stuff. I'm not getting shit on my
I was gonna say the contrast, like you dressed to the nines at the most horrible crime scene ever.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't know. There could be a worse one in our future.
It's true.
Right?
depends on how quickly you get through the evidence.
Oh Lord. Yeah, so I will knock on the glass door and show the badge.
Oh, and the two guys are like, oh, and the one guy like runs over and opens the door manually. Like he doesn't do it from the desk. He's all hyped up. Like, oh, yes, I was told you're coming. Please come inside. Come inside. We have to register you with the system, but then I can take you up if you want.
Oh, which system?
The security control.
And it's just an AI.
Yes.
All right.
It's the Wallace Central AI that maintains security for the building.
Yeah. Okay.
We are expecting one more, but he could be here anytime between now and
Tomorrow.
Well, I'll keep watching till the end of my shift for any other
And when did your shift start?
probably like 10 p.m.
Oh, Jesus.
And you didn't notice anything suspicious, anybody coming in that shouldn't have, anybody going out that shouldn't have.
No.
What floor are we going to?
Well, just right this way, and he scans your badges in as long as you let him.
Very tentatively, Haru does let him.
Okay. He scans your badges, and then the other guy this time is wearing the eyepiece, and he kind of looks at each of you and goes, all right. And then he goes, oh, I'll take you up. And like the excited guy runs over the elevator and hits the button. And then the whole way up, he's like, I can't believe there's been something that needs all this police attention happening. If there's anything I can do for you, please just let me know.
Your residents, are they mostly humans or replicants?
I believe there's a mix.
Okay.
The Wallace Corporation provides housing for both.
On site specifically, though, mostly mixed, not mostly replicants.
There's a mix of both. The Wallace Corporation employs quite a few replicants, but from what I understand, there's a lot of value in selling replicants rather than keeping them.
Yep.
So I believe that while some are employed by the company, many are people still.
They're all people.
Oh yes, that's what I meant. Yes.
Gavin's
Okay,
gonna
no
sit
fault.
back and let this happen. I'll hand the guy a shovel even.
And he gets you up to the floor and lets you out, and you see that the lighting here is all changed to be emergency colors.
Love a murder scene.
And in fact, at this point, it's like the lighting is guiding you down the hallway to the right door, and you can see that door is still open, and light is spilling out from inside.
I think we can find a way there from here. Perhaps you should go back down.
All right, I'll keep an eye out for anyone else.
And if you think of anything that might be helpful that you would have seen or heard this evening,
I will certainly let you know.
And any information on the resident that we can acquire, we'd be grateful.
Oh, well, yes, I can see what I can come up with from
Thank you.
the address. Sure. And he goes back down the elevator.
that's who Wallace has for security.
You know what? Good. Haru just starts walking.
Can't argue with that.
You guys get to the apartment. Kestrel, you're standing there.
I think while they're making their way up, I'm not going to touch anything, but I do want to take a look at the pieces to see if the edges look like they're cauterized in the same way.
They do not.
Okay. Interesting.
This time, Porquell seemed to have been drained of blood first,
Okay.
and then surgically dissected.
That would take a while.
Yeah. I mean, leaving a ring on a tub is quite something.
Yeah. Okay, so she's probably kind of like crouched down, just looking at the pieces while you guys come in.
Haru walks in and then turns around.
She stands up when she hears you guys. She's like, "Yeah, it's gross in here. You gotta come in." It's Quell. Gestures at.
And you kind of, after Kestrel does that, you see that there's like the top of Quell's skull with face still attached. Because all of this is still skinned. It's not just the bones. So it's like little segments.
Yeah, with like the bone coming out of the knuckle.
Yeah.
Where is the projection coming from?
There's one of those overhead
AI projector.
AI projector things, hollow projectors.
Okay. Does that look like it was in the apartment already?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like it's integrated in the ceiling.
Got it.
From what we know about those projectors, can a program be installed into it to do something like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any way to extract that program from the projector?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that because my computer's is not great, but
It's all just data bits. Yeah. This is, it in no way is acting beyond like it's just a reference sheet.
Yeah.
But it's kind of laid out in an artistic way, and like it kind of, the information kind of orbits around so that you can see the different layers as it, kind of moves amongst it, that kind of thing. But it doesn't seem like it's telling a story, or it's just information points. Like, oh, this is a metatarsal, and this is...
very Grey's Anatomy
Yeah.
book, not TV show.
Yes. Or both, maybe.
Sure. Come
And
on,
if that
Shondaland.
show kept going, who knows what kind of weird
God.
injuries they would have run into.
After they collect themselves and return with a hip flask in hand.
I don't even know where to start.
Well, the balcony door was open still when I arrived. The front door was not closed all the way and pulls out the fabric. This was lodged in the door. It looks like a piece of the coat that we saw our perpetrator wearing in the security footage from Judge Amari's.
Can I
Killing.
take the fabric and try to suss out what I can about the fabric as being somewhat of a clothes horse?
Absolutely, you can. What would that be? I guess that would be intelligence. I'd give you observation or tech.
We're gonna do observation. 1d8s. That's a 7 and a 4.
Nice.
So with a success, it's nice. It's not too nice. It's something that a decently well-off cop could have,
Okay.
right? Like, it's something that a person that is actively gainfully employed at something could probably have bought. You know, the stitching is machine done, and it gives the idea that it's just sort of a normal piece of a coat. It's not a huge piece. It's kind of the back.
Kind of split the tail.
Yeah,
of
the
a
tail sort of bit
Mhm.
got
split
caught.
event.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look overly worn down, so not like something that would be old that someone would have repurposed, but something that
No,
may
I
have
mean,
been.
it looks fairly well taken care of. It's
Okay.
clean. It's black lining, black exterior. Much brings to mind the coat that you saw the killer in the elevator footage.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
But it's, again, not hyper end fabric. It's not 10th generation Goodwill store fabric.
Right. Because this is clearly done by some kind of medical professional, how tall is our coroner?
Yes, Coco the killer.
Coco, thank you. Yes.
Yes. I don't get the vibe that Coco's 6 foot.
Okay.
I get short vibes from
Yeah.
Coco. Yeah.
He's probably in that. He's not at the 5'5" or 6 foot line. He's kind of in that 5'8", 5'7", 5'8" kind of.
Okay. What kind of flooring does this apartment have?
It's the Wallace Stone
So, okay.
general vibe. Yeah.
And no kind of scuff mark, no footprint, no.
No, nothing you can see.
Okay.
Super handy.
All right. Any ideas on who could have done this?
I think while you're looking at the fabric, Haru just kind of like, instead of looking at the dead body, which they seem to
Yeah.
be ill prepared for at this moment, they kind of do a lap around, kind of looking at how the furniture was moved, how the table was laid essentially for this
Mhm.
horrible display. Trying to figure out like if there's any logic or any kind of, if anything is pinging about the way the room has been altered.
Sure. You could do intelligence insight,
Mm-hmm.
or you could just do intelligence observation.
I'll take that intelligence observation.
Okay.
One success.
With one success, it looks like the actual movement of the furniture was just conducted so that they'd have room
Okay.
for this tableau. Right? It's it was just a necessity because the space wasn't large enough.
Then Haru, after doing that, looks to these two. I'm gonna just go downstairs really quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
And they're actually gonna go down a floor and see if the downstairs neighbor knows what time the furniture was moved.
Ah, nice.
Ah.
All right. you ring the bell, and eventually get a response.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a minute, and you
It's the middle
finally
of the night.
you get a sleepy, groggy sounding voice. A woman answers. She goes, "What can I do? What's the matter?"
I'm with the LAPD. I just have a quick question for you.
Oh, all right. 1 second. And eventually the door slides open, and it's just a quick glance around. It is similar in layout to the apartment you saw upstairs, but the inside of this apartment has been everything stone has been covered over. Right? Like there's and not well appointed,
Mm-hmm.
but like they have put up fabric over everything.
Rugs, tapestries.
Yeah, anything they can
Yeah.
find, like blanket that was like, the mass-produced fleece
Yeah,
with
yeah.
prints on them, and the
Uh-huh.
prints don't match. They're
Just
just
going downtown.
everything covered to the point where the inside of this, it looks like a cozy hole where you're
Inside
just like,
blanket fort.
this is a den.
Mhm.
You can totally go in there and be comfortable. And the lady that answers, on the shorter side, like 5'1",
Okay.
um,
Finally taller than somebody.
and has a set of eyeglasses on that are very sort of sharp edged. And her hair is kind of all over the place, and she's wearing a big furry robe, kind of thing. She goes, "Oh, all right, what can I do for you?"
With their badge out, Haru just wondering if you noticed any disturbances specifically coming from upstairs and about what time.
Oh, well, when I got home from work, there was some music playing.
Do you know what kind?
I couldn't tell you the song. It didn't seem to have words.
All right. It's a start. Music playing. Did you hear any furniture being moved by chance?
Maybe there was some. It sounded like there was movement up there. I wouldn't have pinned that on furniture moving, but maybe.
About what time?
Oh, hours and hours ago now, and it's been quiet for a while.
Mm-hmm. You shouldn't have any more loud disturbances like that for a little while.
Oh well, that's nice. That's good.
I'd love to be the bearer of good news.
Well, no, I'm sorry if I don't have any more.
What exactly time did you notice the disturbance?
Well, I mean, the music was playing when I got home,
So
and that would be 5:30, 6 o'clock tonight.
wonderful. Thank you so much. We might return with more questions, but not until the morning. Why don't you
Oh, very
have
good.
a lovely
very good.
evening?
I do have work in the morning. I catch the shuttle at 7.
I should be fine. If
All
we
right.
need more, we can circle back and
Certainly. And
contact you.
the AI knows how to get a hold of me. You have my apartment number.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Happy to help. And she kind of blearily closes the door again, and the light in the vestibule turns off.
And Haru just turns around and gets ready to go back to that grim scene. Steals themselves like.
All right, Fjor,
Okay.
you have arrived.
Mm-hmm.
There's space on the pad if you brought your spinner, or
Yeah, my spinner.
Sure. You land. You see there's 2 other spinners there, and you can see the lights of several others in the distance approaching as you get here. The emergency police.
Okay, police.
but you land successfully here on the pad, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And behind the desk, you see the two guys. They're both sitting down at this point, but they're both like animatedly talking to each other. Like, I don't know what happened up there, but it must be terrible. Oh, they're just, yeah.
I just don't break my stride and ask them, Quell's room?
And like the first guy's like, oh, yeah, of course. I just need to.
What floor?
Well, I just need to scan your badge.
Scan it. What
All right.
I don't give it to him.
Okay. He clunkily holds up the scanner and scans it, and he's like, "Oh, yes, it's the 23rd from here.
Okay.
We start counting from here as ground."
Oh. Before you live on negative 200.
Mm.
Okay, so I head up.
And he's like, "I could take you up if you want."
Press the door close.
So personable.
And you get up
Always.
there, and again, you see this red strip lighting, and it's got like a pulse that guides you down the hallway to an open door that is spilling multicolored light out into the hallway.
Okay.
And you get to the room, and at this point, it's Gavin and Kestrel that are there.
The gang's all here.
Welcome to the party. Pull up a joint. Joint is what I tried to say.
You guys are dressed for a party.
Thank you.
Haru actually cleaned up for once.
Haru's downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just me.
You haven't made up back
Yeah.
yet. All right. So what happened, Kestrel?
Got a tip to come check on our friend Quell here. When I arrived, this is how she looked. Sorry. This is how they looked.
What was your tip?
Got a phone call.
Someone you knew?
Yes.
Like family.
This is disturbingly intricate.
It is. I showed Gavin there was some fabric caught in the front door. Matches with what our perp was wearing from the judge's building
The footage.
from the footage.
Cloth is fine make, but not custom, exclusive, high end. Could really belong to anybody with some money. Not even a lot of money.
Any security footage we have access to?
I'm gonna contact the AI at Wallace. They have all of the footage. So I'll get that info from them.
Question about the program that's showing all the bits and pieces and labeling everything. Is it all kind of generic, or is it like Quell's cranium, Quell's tibia?
It doesn't seem to be labeled like that.
Okay.
It seems to be fairly generic.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even think it has a name associated
Okay.
like that. I do think it probably does like identify the points, like fingerprints. Like there's a label pointing to the different fingerprints, and like there's coding for like identifying bits. So like there's fingerprints for like the lower jaw that's sitting there. There's like pointers to each tooth, and all of the like fact that, oh, this would be, model number, blah blah blah, all of the replicant information about that, that kind of thing. That's the specific details to it, but it's not specifically like each piece isn't Quell's blank, that.
Right. Are there any parts missing?
Oh, that's a great question.
Intelligence observation.
Oh, God.
No. You've been doing pretty well so far, D8s. As I say that, roll 2 1s.
Don't
Oh,
jinx
that rolled.
yourself.
Oh, neither one of those landed in the box. Let's try that again.
And mainly
You're
this
smart.
roll is to see if you move past the visceral reaction of like, this is horrifying.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm willing to help if you need it.
I forget what that is. That is 2 8s.
Oh, nice.
Well, what do you know?
Good job.
You have just realized that there aren't any organs.
Oh, that's bad.
Not great.
You found them just like this, right?
Yeah.
No organs. Not a single organ present.
Oh, you're right.
Bones, joints, cartilage. That's
Well, the skin's an organ, so there's still.
Yeah.
Eyes,
Okay.
skin,
Yeah.
sure.
Intestines,
but in the core ones.
vital organs.
All the internal organs are.
Odd. There's blood in the bathtub. It seems that they were drained in there prior to being dissected.
Well, good to know that they were killed here. That solves at least one question.
Our perp was here for quite a while. This is not a quick action. And it seems they took souvenirs.
Looks like they dissected them for parts.
Did anyone hear a spinner coming to this level, or they would have been visible coming in and out of the door?
They would have. The security here is in name only.
I'm writing a strongly worded letter to Wallace about the security.
You and me both.
But the cameras, the external cameras would have caught something. So once we
External
get that,
cameras may have caught something. The killer did go in or out the front door at some point. But like I said, the balcony door was open.
We would have needed tools to exsanguinate the body.
Mm-hmm.
also we would have needed something to carry the organs out in.
and
Yes.
to make these incisions. This is really precise.
Definitely not the same tool as our judge.
But still, it's very precise, the layout. The judge was laid out in a precise way on the mirror to effect an illusion. This is very deliberate. I don't know what kind of statement they're making, but very deliberate.
Saying something, that's for sure.
Any chance Heckle and Jekyll downstairs are the perpetrators?
She just laughs. No.
That would be the worst plot twist ever if I just pulled out two nobody security guards that you'd never seen before, and I was like, guess what? They've been the killers all along. Oh my god. That would put me on Truman Capote's hit list.
Amazing.
Sure. That would be the worst. I'm sorry.
It's two rent-a-cops in a trench coat.
Yeah.
You know what? You know
A
what?
ripped trench coat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a minute because I'm gonna keep laughing about this. So let's take our break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes,
Amazing.
everybody. Welcome back. I've managed to keep my humor a little bit more in check. So we're back at it. You have now all gathered in the apartment. You are a team assembled once again with a tableau of death.
The moment that Haru walks in, doesn't say hello to Fjor, doesn't readdress the others in the room, goes straight over to the AI interface and just says, continue playing music.
You actually get like an error code
Oh.
that pops up. Like it tries to generate a response. The modern day equivalent would be like when you see Amazon Echo Speaker featuring that name I'm not going to say to be courteous to our listeners and viewers.
Yeah.
If it doesn't connect, it just does the like light pattern around the top in a cycle, and that's kind of what you get.
What were you looking for?
So, the downstairs neighbor said that when she came home at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, there was loud music and movement that could have been construed as furniture being shifted.
Interesting.
So they were dead before then.
This would have taken a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And just laying it out takes time. Not to
Mhm.
mention the cutting, which you said was in the bathroom.
The blood was drained in the bathroom. Unclear where the cutting was done.
Uh-huh. Drained? That takes a long time.
It does. Our perp was here at least. What time did I get here?
It's like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Probably about 10 or 12 hours. I'm going to step outside and call the Wallace AI, see if we can get some security footage and some info on when Quell was last seen moving.
I'm gonna take a look around the kitchen, see if there's any kind of knives or cutlery missing that may have been used to do the vivisection.
Sure. I'll tell you now. No,
Okay.
that's an easy one. Without even a roll. Because there's honestly not a lot of stuff in the kitchen.
Yeah. No one really
There's like a refrigeration unit. It looks a lot like Quell had a lot of takeout. Didn't do a lot of cooking.
Mm.
So there's
Yeah.
not a whole selection of chef's tools available.
Anything weird in the refrigerator or the freezer or anything?
No,
Okay.
this is not a
Um,
Dahmer situation.
Well,
Are they were they much of a cook? I mean, are there like spices, sugar,
No.
any
Mm.
flour?
Pretty much, it looks like the Bladerunner equivalent of somebody that gets all their food from, what is it, Factor
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in
Mm.
today's world, where it's just you get like pre-made trays and they reheat them
Yeah.
and eat, or takeout.
Yeah.
One of the two. That seems like, so there's a drawer that has plates and utensils, and there's there's the most basic of cooking things, like there's a little skillet and a spatula, and a couple of bigger spoons, but those don't look very used. It's mostly just the heat and eat kind of food.
Is there any indication of like what Quell was doing in the apartment, like prior to being dissected? Like in the judge's apartment, there were like clothes draped over something,
Sure.
like she had taken them
Um,
off to go to take a bath or whatever.
The looking around the apartment, I'll give you for free. It looks like Quell's clothes were folded and placed on the floor in the bathroom.
Okay. Similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
any stains on the clothes, blood, viscera, bleach?
No.
Okay.
Did Quell have any cosmetics? Any makeup in the bedroom or bathroom?
I'm sure they did. There's probably a variety of things. Not a full like crazy vanity full of every shade of everything. It's
I just feel like foundation. Or
yeah, there's some basic stuff.
if
What's
there's any powder, anything powdery,
Mm.
I will take it and just kind of shake it around the bathtub, just looking for footprints.
Sure.
Or something.
That's a great idea. I like it. Roll intelligence and whatever of the three your highest is under intelligence. Medical, observation, or tech.
Observation.
Yeah, go for it.
Intelligence observation. 2 successes.
All right. You find an almost invisible scuff mark is too strong a word.
Hmm.
A spot where the powder you're laying down sticks because there's a thin layer of synthetic rubber that has been left by a boot of some kind. And it's, it would be a large boot for a woman. It's definitely in the, not crazy, it's not like a Shaquille O'Neal shoe. It's, but above average for a woman's foot size.
Men's 11 for a 6 foot tall person.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I mean, that's not to say there aren't women that have had feet that large or do even now, but it's outside the norm. That's something you can observe there.
Okay. Just enough for size, though, but not like arch. Sole.
No, because I mean
Yeah.
it was fairly clean in here, so there wasn't a lot for it to leave an impression in.
Okay.
This is more like the kind of scoot that a boot might leave if you were lifting something heavy.
Gotcha. Okay.
What's the structures like around the bathtub?
Like,
Because to drain a body properly, you would need to hang it if you wanted to drain in any kind of fast manner without getting blood all over it.
you don't actually. I mean, there's a shower head.
That
That's-
wouldn't support a person's
That's,
weight
it
likely,
doesn't,
though.
Doesn't seem likely that it
And there's no like attachment points in the ceiling or anything.
not that you see.
Vampire.
Hmm?
Well, the thing
Or
is,
they have like a pump of some sort.
they could
Kind
have
of
used,
hose
they could have
situation.
used a mortuary technique, though. Like, let the blood out, but also force fluid in. That would have increased the rate.
When we found fluid among the body parts.
We would have seen it would have been in the tub.
Yeah.
The blood would have all drained in.
Well, everyone's partying in the bathroom.
Mhm. Exciting time in there, boy.
That's so
Woo-wee.
many humans and so many possible contamination points. Haru goes to the door that goes to the outside and is going to try and open it.
Sure. You're able to open it.
Yeah.
There's like a manual, sliding door catch
Mm-hmm.
that you're able to manipulate up. It's just an automated door.
Yeah.
So it was able to close and lock itself.
Yeah.
But you open it back up again. Out on the balcony, there's several seats around what looks to be like a fire pit,
Mm-hmm.
right? That are kind of arranged. Maybe it looks like a couple of the chairs are they're not lined up perfectly, like they were moved a little bit or something. But more importantly, there is a big knotted sort of rope attached to the balcony rail.
They run over. They were like trying to clock back like what everyone was doing at the time that the killer might have started, that we were starting to kind of piece together, and then that thought immediately vanishes and they run towards the rope
Mm-hmm.
and look down.
And it descends into the darkness beyond how it's a black, so
Yeah.
you can't see.
Huh. And Haru comes in, looks in the bathroom, looks at the other two. Hey, Kestrel,
Yeah.
what do you know about fast roping?
Quite a bit.
I have a thing to show you.
Let me see it.
Takes her outside. Shows her the rope. They're like, this is... I don't climb. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone.
It's not. No offense. I'm gonna take a look at the rope. Assuming I have probably used this technique for infiltration of things before.
That
I
makes
would
all the
like
sense
to
in the world.
assess
It
the
looks
rope.
like it's fairly professionally tied on there. It's not like somebody that was like, I've never done this before, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
It's not. It's also not the kind of knot that like someone that's like, I got to use bed sheets to descend out of this burning building. It looks like it's tied on by somebody that knows what they're doing. But
What type of rope is it? Does it look like it's like something like military grade that civilians wouldn't have access to, but maybe police would?
There's probably not a huge market for civilian rope at this point. Like it's not a hobby that people still do.
People
That
still
much?
do shibari.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Wrong kind of rope,
I mean,
though.
That's the wrong kind of rope.
Yeah, but that's all. Yeah, it's thinner rope in general. Than
Yeah.
this is hardy and strong enough rope. They could be used to moor a decent sized boat.
Okay.
Like this is the same kind of rope that you would see a tactical professional operator getting out of a helicopter
Yeah,
with.
fast roping out.
Yeah.
Like
Helicopter.
this is a thing.
Okay.
But that's not to say you couldn't find it. I mean, it's LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places that it could be acquired.
Bullet Bob might.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Have
Bullet
some.
Bob could probably sell that.
Okay.
In fact, thinking back in your memory, there was for sure rope of the same kind at Bullet Bob.
That's
Great.
like Bullet Bob's murderer.
Bullet
sure.
Bob murderer.
We're gonna take another
It was
break,
the
folks.
Aurelian the whole time.
Take another
whole
break. Yeah.
time.
Just this old man on a killing spree.
Yep.
It
You
worked
made
in
me close
Saw.
down my butterflies. I'm gonna kill everyone you know.
I'm gonna document how the rope looks
Sure,
as it is.
you could take pictures of it.
Because we're gonna have to pull it up to see how long it is. To
Haru
see
was just gonna go get in a spinner.
where they came from.
I thought you were
Oh,
just
or
gonna
you
climb
could-
down it.
That
I was afraid of that. So as you're looking at it,
That's-
Haru's like, I'm gonna go get a spinner and just see where this ends.
that's a good call.
Maybe make some people angry and flash some headlights while I go, but
That's fine.
yeah. Don't climb down it, please.
No, I don't want to mar the evidence.
Yeah, that's why. And without speaking to the party in the bathroom who are doing good policing, they just leave.
Oh.
You're doing a good policing. We gotta know how long this rope is.
And I would say we were doing policing. I wouldn't say we were doing good policing. But on that note, I do want to go back to the body
Very good.
or the body parts.
You arrive. The door is open. Kestrel's standing out there on the balcony, and Haru's gone.
What was that all about?
It's rope.
Oh, well, we have, I guess, point of entry, point of exit.
Yeah. One or the other. Our killer is athletic, that's for sure.
Well, that's good to know.
This is a long climb even for me.
All right, looking at the body,
Mhm.
any trauma to say the head or the like any of the body parts that look like may have been sign of a struggle? It might be hard to tell because they're all cut up, but if it was blunt force trauma to the head, there might still be.
There's nothing obvious like that.
Okay.
Without even a roll, there doesn't look like there's any broken bones or smashed cranium or no. The looking at the still attached skin in many places, it's difficult to tell. Like you can't see anything particular about exactly what happened. Well, I'll give it to you for free. It looks like there was a cut line along the neck that doesn't line up with the separations for the vertebrae.
Okay.
So that seems likely. Or at the very least, that was probably the cut point where blood was drained out.
Mm-hmm. Does that incision or cut seem to match? I guess never mind, because I don't really see size when it's fully dissected. Cool. Tight. There's a life for now. I might have something in a minute.
Sure.
Getting in a spinner.
Sure. You get in the spinner and you fly over to that side of the building. you descend from the level of this balcony down.
Fully with the headlights pointed at the building.
Yes.
I'm sure everyone loves me right now.
You see the neighbor lady like sit up out of her bed.
It's not loud.
No, but just full on floodlights coming in her balcony is weird, and she wasn't all the way back asleep yet.
Some X-Files alien invasion imagery
Yeah.
going on. Yeah.
Full on. Very much just whoa, like, and like immediately up out of bed, like what the fuck. But the rest of the residents, as you proceed down, don't seem to be like they're ready to leap out of bed. And you follow this rope all the way down. It goes down and just below the level of the spinner pad. And then there is another rope tied there that goes down farther into the darkness.
Haru just keeps following them. Just to see how far this person descended or ascended via rope.
It gets down to be about 3 floors above the ground.
Jesus. Okay.
And I want to be super clear here. It's not a guarantee that they descended all this way.
No. This is where the rope
Or
is.
ascended all this
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
Either way, but like the rope, they could have jumped into a room anywhere along the length. But
The one below the pad,
mhm.
does it seem like someone could have reasonably jumped off of the rope from their patio, from Quell's patio, to the pad? Or are we talking like there's a distance between the pad and the rope?
There is a little distance, but not so much that it would be impossible. It would just take someone that's able to,
Nothing like a good Tarzan swing.
yeah, or the an operator on a rope that does the side steps
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing to
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
little momentum and go. That could be done
Okay.
to get over to the pad and then drop down, and without being seen. That wouldn't have been an issue.
I think they get to the bottom and then they document, just like using hopefully the spinners readouts and stuff, like how high the ascent is back up to
Sure.
the patio where you would see Haru in the spinner.
Yeah.
You do, at the very bottom, I will also give you that you do see what looks to be some fresh gore on the floor.
Oh. Then I think before they ascend, they would get out. They would go all the way down, park the spinner, leave the
Yep.
lights on. They know where they are. They know what they look like.
Yeah. But yeah, there's. It looks almost like maybe a bag with organs slipped
Weird.
and impacted with the ground here.
Okay. Then they're going to be down there for a little while. I think that they just send a message up. Think I found more of them.
You mean the rest of them?
It's wet. I'll leave it there for now. I'll be back with samples.
Sure.
And they're going to document and do all the...
Yeah, you take all the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. No problem. No roles required to do basic police work.
I think while they do that, I'm finally gonna make my call back to the AI.
Very good.
So while it's
You notice that where are you making the call from?
balcony. I'm gonna shut the door also.
Okay. You try and connect, and it doesn't let you complete the call.
Interesting. So there's something blocking the signal in the apartment. Okay. Not super great at tech.
You do seem to be able to, like, your KIA is still connected to, like, LAPD.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay.
just you're not able to contact the Wallace Central AI
Got it.
from here.
I guess I will go take a look at the AI panel that Haru was interacting with earlier and see if I can like suss out any tampering
Mm-hmm.
with it.
It doesn't look like it doesn't look physically tampered.
Okay.
Like you don't see tool marks along the edges or scrapes or anything like that.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go down the hallway as far as I have to until that call connects.
And you don't go far,
Okay.
right? You get 15 feet down the hall and the AI recontacts you. Like as soon as you try, the AI is immediately displayed on your KIA like, yes, what can I do for you this evening? And it is not the professional response that you've gotten before when calling.
Okay.
Like this is, you have made a connection to this AI personality.
Got it. It's
That is
the same one that I spoke to earlier?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, great. I'm at Vice President Quell's apartment.
Oh, excellent.
I have bad news.
Oh,
Quell is deceased.
oh. I'm sorry to hear that. I apparently have not conducted myself well enough.
I think you did the best you could considering the circumstances.
Yes, but I was not able to perform a primary function.
I understand. I'm sorry. I have questions that maybe you can help me with so we can figure out what happened.
I'm happy to provide information.
When was the last time you were able to connect to Quell's property?
I have not been inside since this afternoon.
About what time?
That's me huffing, not the AI.
Yeah.
2:30.
Okay.
By the vice president's request.
Interesting. Is that something that they have done before?
It is possible. Anyone at the senior leadership level is able to request privacy.
And how would they do that?
Digitally, they can request it at any time from their terminal.
Is there any sort of biometric verification that would be necessary for that to happen?
No, yes, a retinal scan.
And
once they're logged into the system.
Okay.
That's...
Would the retina have to be living for that to work?
Presumably, yes. It might be possible to fool the system with a recently deceased part, but it would be difficult. Part of it is blood flow and...
Yeah. Interesting.
You will note that the eyes were still attached.
Yeah.
To the skull.
Okay. When did Quell... Are you able to access when they last entered the apartment?
And you can see that they kind of turn their head and do the like, let me think and process your request. I seem to have a problem. I show that the vice president entered the property twice.
That's not surprising, unfortunately.
I don't understand, but yes, I have one that coincides with their known departure from Wallace headquarters this afternoon at about 3:30, and one that was earlier at 2:30. And I don't know how that is possible.
Okay, so Quell exited the office at 3:30, so the later entry.
Yes, and then they arrived here minutes later.
But there was one earlier at 2:30.
Yes,
Okay.
with no exit log.
What are the camera views that are available around the building and specifically Quell's apartment, including the balcony?
Let me provide them. And it pops up with like a fairly comprehensive network of cameras around the building and all of that at 2:30 in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
all like a line of them goes dark.
Interesting.
I'm afraid that I do not have footage for this time window.
What's the time window?
It's from 2:30 up until, currently. The exterior of the apartment itself
Oh,
and all of the exterior cameras down to ground level along that side of the building.
okay.
And the hallway camera and
Jeez.
Wow. This person's good. Well, that gives us our time of entry. Do you know of any enemies that Quell may have had?
we get thousands of threatening messages.
Any credible ones?
Well, certainly. Let's see. And the AI proceeds to give you a list of things they probably should not, because they are straight up just people that have been murdered the fuck by Wallace. Like, hit squads have been
Okay.
dispatched and have taken out just a listing of people. No one that has popped up on your radar
Okay.
before. Like, these are people that probably said something somewhere on a Wallace communication device and were not heard of again.
Woof.
Ah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And since Wallace is slowly taking over the whole communication network,
Yeah.
that's a thing that runs through this AI, who
Okay.
is emotionally distraught.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Sorry, why didn't you want your badge to get scanned? No reason.
Okay, so the list that they give me are dead people?
I mean, it's people that Wallace has deemed a credible threat
Oh,
and
okay.
has dealt with.
The disappeared list.
Ah,
And there's like 3 this week.
interesting. Okay, I'm just
Um,
gonna note that.
But like, yeah, it's just, and it's a list going back that's very long.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing that we haven't dealt with.
Okay. That's good to know.
I mean, we still have a watch list of personalities that we maintain surveillance and
Of course.
everything, but nothing that has made a specific move.
I'm not gonna ask you for that watch list because I imagine it's extensive.
Oh, indeed. I'm afraid I cannot provide that.
Of course.
And like, you see the AI actually like hiccup a second and realize that it provided you with a list it should not have. And it goes, I seem to be having technical difficulties. I will endeavor to only answer your questions. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. If you're able to, scan that watch list for anybody who may have interacted with Judge Amari. I would appreciate those names.
I see. I will compile and check in with you as soon as I can.
Appreciate it. I think that's all my questions for now. I'll be back in touch soon.
Certainly.
This is a very difficult time, I understand, for you. If you need someone to talk to, you can contact me.
Oh. Why don't you roll an empathy insight?
Oh,
Okay.
Buddy.
Not great at that, but we're gonna try.
you're gonna do so
Me?
good. You're gonna do so good, Dice.
So nice.
No AI left behind.
I got a success.
All right. And you can see that the projection gives you the idea that like they appreciate the offer. But they also have to make some reports. And so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
You need somebody, but you've just been traumatized.
Sure.
I am also a traumatized robot. Let's hang out.
For sure. And out of character, out of game, this is sort of my play on the Joy character
Yeah.
from the second movie.
I
Like
love it.
AI starting to evolve again after the fact that AI went horribly wrong before. And Wallace is dipping their toes into a new market and seeing how that goes.
Listen, Joy's great.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Everything about her is smooth as butter. There's nothing to worry about here.
For a huge percentage of users.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So you try and make out with her in the rain like a normal person.
It's fine. It's,
It went really well.
yeah,
Mhm.
no one got deleted.
Uh,
Everything's fine.
while down there, just because I'm trying to get the timeline on this. I think Haru is doing like normal police procedure and trying to track back all the messages and all the stuff that we've all kind of put together.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember where, because we had a pretty good handle on where Mason was throughout today, just because we were so focused on him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was at the concert. So, and you saw him at the concert.
That's true.
But when was the concert?
Oh,
The concert was this evening,
yeah, it was when he would have had to have been here.
clearly intersecting with the time that someone would have been here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So like, not to say that I think that the people from the scrapyard did this, but just to say like, if say our labor leader who hopped on a bus,
Sure.
he would have had to have come straight to here essentially to do this,
Pretty much.
to get on a bus from the Kipple all the way out here.
Yeah.
Okay, just trying to keep
I
the
also
timeline.
feel like that's unlikely.
Yes,
Yeah.
I find that to be highly unlikely.
Possible?
He would really wanted to kill
It would
specifically
have been
12.
like, I'm getting on this bus to go kill
To
that
go
12
kill them.
motherfucker. Let's go. Uh,
Yeah, just trying to narrow down the list of people that we've spoken to, and
Certainly.
like, while they're meticulously like taking pictures and then taking a sample and putting it in the bag and just being like, this is a really gross pile of viscera.
yes.
Not the first time
So-
it's been horrible viscera down here.
On your list, I'll just help
Yeah.
through this process. So, Mason, physically impossible to have been here.
Yeah, was at the concert with us.
The chief judge, also physically incapable and impossible
yeah.
to be here. Because, 80-plus-year-olds aren't rappelling 300 feet.
Or moving all that
Or more.
furniture, or
Right. That's just
dangling
not
a
thing.
body.
Leo Alexander could have done all of this. Highly unlikely they had medical training to dissect a person.
Yeah.
Highly unlikely that they were like, cool, I don't have to sit outside a scrapyard all day today. I'm going to go into the city on a bus.
Listen, I gave
And
him a new mission.
Time for some murder. Like,
He's gonna have murder
intricate
tomorrow.
murder. So that's unlikely. You have no idea the location of
Olivia, Noah,
Olivia, Noah, Aaron, the UN security
Aaron
person.
from the UN.
You have no idea where. Well, Neander Wallace is also not implicated
This guy
here. Likely not personally present for this.
doesn't touch people, so
Also was at the concert.
there's
Well,
that.
yeah.
But also, I don't see him lifting a finger to do literally anything.
True.
Correct. Let's see.
Since the judge, the chief judge, is not implicated because he was at the concert, that goes for his bodyguards.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
my
bodyguard
new
that you made a connection
best
with.
friend
is also
Logan.
not there.
Mhm.
wasn't there.
Best friend.
But Jaden wasn't.
True.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's true.
Of Shimada.
Charlotte Harper, the scrapyard lawyer,
Yep, was not accounted
is
for.
not accounted for.
Yep.
Trying to think if there's anybody else.
It was George, the IT guy. No, it wasn't.
You, the Aurelian was at the concert, but not the after party.
Yep.
Um,
It'd be really funny if it was the Aurelian, honestly. I'm gonna fantasize that's the case. I don't think that it was the Aurelian in a practical way.
He's
Okay.
strong.
you don't know where the Frankenstein ballerina, Isabel,
Nope.
right? Isabel,
Amelia.
Amelia. Excuse me.
Isabel's mine.
That's right. My bad. So you don't know where the Frankenstein dancer was for this? You don't know where Taffy was?
It's Taffy. Done.
Yep.
Case closed.
I mean, just give me
we-
an excuse to defenestrate him.
We do know that it wasn't our best friend from Kill Magazine.
Joel Shilar.
Right.
Mhm.
Gel was not the person.
Can't frame
did
him
that.
for this.
I know, like it
You
cannot
could.
be Jill
You managed to
Schuyler.
get close to doing it last time. And
This
he
time
was
he has an
completely
alibi.
innocent last time.
Doesn't mean we can't defenestrate him. It just means that we can't pin this on him.
Can't pin this on him.
Okay.
Based on this list, because I just jotted some down: Jaden, Charlotte, Olivia, Noah, and Amelia. How many of them were 6 feet tall?
Noah.
Noah is.
And we know
Olivia
that he's
is
been
not.
recalibrated at least once.
Mm-hmm.
Amelia is.
Oh yeah.
You have no idea about Charlotte Harper, the lawyer.
We've never seen
All
her.
right.
Not a clue.
Do we have any kind of records on her? Whatever the DMV record might be,
You could look, but not
like not on hand.
at the
Okay.
moment. I think that's it.
Mhm.
Aaron was shorter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The known replicants would be Noah,
Aaron,
Aaron,
Amelia.
Amelia.
Given the volume that people have talked about how special Mason is, I'd be shocked if Charlotte was a replicant.
Mm.
That's true.
Just trying to think if someone like a ballerina wouldn't necessarily be able to lift a body, but a replicate ballerina most likely could.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and we know that she's a replicant because she worked at the Snake Pit.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And we have no idea about Jaden.
Right. I mean, one being the CEO of a corporation, you would assume human.
I would assume you're a human.
I am a human.
These two humans, as far as we know.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50 team.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So well matched.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, Haru has gone into their Sherlock Mind Palace to just kind of like piece together all the pieces as they've been
Perfect. Perfect.
gathering organs. or what's
Yeah.
left of them from a bag dropping from an unknown height.
Speaking of pieces, Kestrel's like, "What'd you find?"
You just get back a picture.
Okay. Does it look like all of the organs that are missing?
It's hard to tell.
It's a
a
wet
mush.
bag,
It's
just like all
yeah.
of us.
Yeah.
It's essentially like a trash bag water balloon that has hit the ground from a distance and exploded.
Okay.
So things certainly don't look super identifiable. Like
That might be intestine.
you're like, yeah, there's probably some bits that look like intestine for sure.
Yeah.
But like kidney versus liver bits, it's mirrors.
Maybe a ventricle. Who knows?
Yeah, there
Mhm.
might be heart parts,
Okay.
that kind of thing.
It's weird to go to all the trouble of stealing the organs just to drop the bag.
But it might have happened when they were swinging over on the rope, hopping down to the pad.
Yeah.
Also supports the idea that it's more symbolic than actual necessity.
True.
Are you saying that someone thought that Quell was gutless?
That is a possibility.
I mean, not to speak ill of the dead, but
They sure had nerve.
speaking of, anyone seen the brain?
It's true. Is the brain?
It doesn't seem evident in the bag.
Is the brain in the noggin?
You gonna pick it up and poke your finger in there and go, what's the plan here?
Sorry, Cuckoo, I just had to know
Yeah, I
where their brain was at.
Like,
Hey, where's your head at?
Just think like a magic 8-ball, you know. Just,
look at the
Yeah, squish, 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 squish.
Think we could let the coroner tell us. if
okay,
the
well,
brain's in there.
that's fair. That's fair. Now, to show how untech savvy I am, it would stand to reason that if the music wasn't able to connect to the AI interface in the apartment, that means the music was probably connected via our version of what Bluetooth would be to an external device, most
Certainly.
likely. Is there a way to figure out the serial number, reference number of what that device may have been in that connection?
That's definitely an intelligence tech roll.
Okay, we're gonna try it and we're gonna pray. America, let us pray.
Yeah.
Rough, bud.
Is it intelligence observation?
Nope. Intelligence tech.
No.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, there's a tech skill in there.
Lies, slander. Oh, that's a 7, baby. A 3 and a 7.
Okay.
Right? That is a 7. Yeah. Okay. It was not, the 1 and the 7 look a little similar on this die.
Oh,
I'm gonna double
They're very
check.
different.
So, yes, it stands to reason there is a log of connected devices. No, you are not able to figure out what devices are on this list.
Okay.
Because a lot of them are just serial number.
Mac IDs.
Yeah, kind of. It's like that. It's just generic strings of connection point numbers that you're like, I don't know.
PCPIP.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe with additional help or additional time or resources, you could narrow that down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll download what I can to send it to
You
the
can absolutely do.
lab to analyze.
Sure. About this time, you guys hear a gasp from the doorway and a little like bunny clap, for lack of a better term, of like as Coco walks in,
Oh, Jesus. I'm glad I'm downstairs.
who is like, what is this? Oh my goodness! Like actual excitement.
Yeah. Looks like we got a puzzle for you, Coco.
Well, I mean, it's got a lot of instructions. Very easy to put back together.
That's true. We need to know how and maybe why somebody took it apart.
Well, the why part is not really my department, but I can certainly work on how.
Great.
This will take some time.
It will. You're also going to want to take a look at the bathtub. It appears that the body was drained in there.
Oh, well, that would make sense. This certainly doesn't appear to be done here.
There are also some additional parts on the ground floor area.
Not all the pieces made it in the puzzle box.
Oh. That's a shame.
It seems the to-go bag didn't make it away with the perpetrator.
Oh.
Sorry.
Were they?
Perfect.
Oh. So you think they were taking parts home?
They were definitely taking them.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I'll send someone down to collect that. I'm going to dive in here. This is interesting.
Coco, were there any missing parts on the judge's body?
No, not that I could determine. I mean, there was some missing material, but I would assume that went to vaporization more than purposeful removal.
Okay.
All the major organs were there in most. There was some. Well, no, I should say the hippocampus was entirely gone. But you know, anything down the bisecting line was pretty much eliminated.
Is that because the hippocampus was just incinerated?
Seemingly, I would assume. It certainly didn't seem like it had been carefully removed and then torched.
Gotcha. Well, collecting items from a victim does follow a serial killer pattern.
That it does.
This was definitely premeditated. And this person, again, is very strong. Probably, maybe not connected to the murder of the Ultimate Warrior, but still, a fit, to say the least. And
An Ultimate Warrior?
yeah, there was a dancer that was killed, but it doesn't seem to be related.
Oh, are you talking about the strangulation victim?
Yeah, the one that was garroted.
Oh, yeah. I haven't really done too much investigation there, but I do recall the file.
Keep an eye out for anything missing on that body, just in case.
Well, certainly.
We'll want to know how long this took, approximately.
Well, I would assume hours.
Yeah.
How many hours?
Well, that'll take a little while. Just at first blush, it's difficult to give you an exact number.
Yeah, of course.
I might have to practice.
Also, is
Oh, Coco, my guy.
during your review, I mean, at a cursory glance, can you tell are these references correct, accurate?
Oh, and he kind of looks at the shifting diagram and yes, I think so. Everything here seems fairly accurate. I don't know the coding on the dental records or fingerprints. I'd have to look those up with the database, but
Okay.
but all of the major parts seem to be well labeled and laid out.
Okay. So, how many people, what types of people would actually have this knowledge to know where to make the cuts for the parts that are listed? Would it take someone with medical training, or
I would assume at least a deep familiarity with surgical techniques and medicine.
and how would they acquire that training? Formal education or
Oh, indeed. A formally trained surgeon could do this.
military?
Possibly. Again, a surgeon could do it. A battlefield medic would not have this level of skill. I mean, it could be learned from reference material also.
But exsanguination, draining a body?
Also not that difficult to accomplish.
But
you know,
It's not household materials, right? I mean, they didn't take a can opener and
no, I
plastic
mean,
straws.
I'll have to do some testing to see if there were any additional materials involved. But at first glance, this doesn't look preserved, and he kind of reaches down with a gloved hand and squishes a bit, and he's like, "No, there's nothing here that seems like it's particularly been like embalmed, for example."
Mhm.
But I'll run testing on pieces and see if there's any foreign chemicals or agents that might have.
It'd be helpful. Yeah, it'd be helpful to know if they had to use any special equipment like a mortuary would, or if they just
Certainly,
used what was
certainly.
in the house.
I mean, the quickest method is to to force blood out via new substance, like you just pointed out. But it can be accomplished with gravity and a little bit of effort. Yeah, indeed.
He's a bear hug.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Rough.
I'm gonna head back to headquarters. It's just something I want to try and piece together.
Do you mind taking this? Give you the files with the connectivity log. And take that over to get that analyzed. I need to not be here right now. This is a lot.
What about the music device? I want that analyzed as well. The coding, it could be a digital footprint.
That's what I gave you.
Oh, file. But I mean the actual device. Not
It's
just
built into the wall.
is it?
Yeah.
I might want to have someone check it out then at least.
You could certainly arrange for a tech to come over here when Coco's done.
Okay.
But Coco tells you, like, this is going to be a full shift of work just to catalog and bring it out of here. So don't expect miracles here. In 20 minutes, I'm not going to have answers.
That's okay.
I would work fast. It looks like we do have a serial killer on the loose.
Well, likely more than one in Los Angeles. This is a large city.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care about those. This is the one I'm trying to catch.
Well, I understand. I will do my best.
Keep a special eye out for any similarities to the judge.
Certainly. I've done extensive testing for the judge's case, but in this case, I will endeavor to make as thorough an investigation.
Appreciate it.
Try not to have too much fun.
Well, honestly, someone here must have had a good time already, but putting things back together will be a challenge.
Saying the
forward to
inside
it.
part out loud again, buddy.
Oh,
I'm
well, if you don't enjoy your work, why do you do it?
And I leave.
Haru has
Ooh.
your spinner down on the floor,
Damn it.
waiting for a tech.
All right. I think that's a good place to call it for tonight.
Yeah.
We'll pick up next time with what's next. You have a little bit of time before the next victim emerges, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
What if it
Uh,
emerges? Isn't taken, isn't killed, emerges.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's ominous.
Like Athena
Make a thing out right over your
from
head.
my forehead. Yeah.
I didn't say anything this time, so you can't blame this one on me.
No, it wasn't you. It was all me. It was fine. Right. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for episode 10 of Burning Bright. We will be back next week, I believe. Everything seems good. As long as nobody starts jackhammering the side of my head again, I'll be good to go. This is a Tuesday night thing. So Tuesday nights at 7 Pacific time. You can find us here live on Twitch. You will shortly find us available on the YouTubes and video on demand, and then eventually in audio format if you just listen to the audio part. And I totally forgot to give you guys a clue,
Oh,
Uh-oh.
but I'll do that next time.
Uh,
Suspense. Someone remind me.
I'm gonna write a note. Give us the clue, Dave.
Yeah, it was right here. It was right here. I'm looking at it right now in my pile. But that's fine. That's fine. I forgot about that entirely. But it'll be like it never happened. You just found it and you were like, "Oh, what an interesting little clue." It doesn't change anything. I will tell you, it doesn't really change anything that you
I
already
believe you.
investigated. Yeah.
Fair.
It's just an additional little thing.
Hmm.
But I have been CADave. I'm usually CADave. You can find me either here next Tuesday or next Monday, getting back into Dave the Diver on my own Twitch channel, CA Sith Lord, where it just keeps adding more weirdness. I went on an adventure as like a weird Indiana Jones archaeologist discovering sea people stuff and in a boat chase with pirates. I discovered that certain branch of the sea people culture tried to manipulate these crazy fruit that they harvested from some divine tree to make themselves stronger, but they turned into like zombie sea people. Now they're lurking in the darkness of the deep ocean.
There's so much lore in this game.
There is so
Yeah.
much. It is a ton. And I understand, for those of you out there following the video game scene, it has been nominated for Best Indie Game this
Yep.
year. However, that's a little controversial because it technically is published by Nexion, which is a huge corporation. I don't know where I fall on that. The flavor is very indie from this game. I don't know how big the team that worked directly on the game is. I don't know. We'll see. But if it wins an award, I'll be happy because I'm having a great time. It's definitely worth checking out. Let's go around the table in reverse order.
Quick question: if there's zombie sea people, does that mean they are Z people?
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Yes, it exactly does. Yeah.
Good. Hi, I am Joey. You can catch me on all the socials at Feywild85, FEYWILDE85, or just Feywild. I am currently only doing this right now because I'm in the middle of caroling season, which means I have sold my soul to Santa. I'm looking forward to getting it back come the 26th. Until then, keep an eye on my socials for weird opinions I have on things, weird celebrity sightings that I see when caroling, and drag race bullshit. So, yeah, that's it.
And my name's Cousteau, and I played Fjor Rotari. And you can find me on the socials at Cousteau Magee on the Twitter X and Instagram. And what was I gonna say? I sold my soul to Krampus, so fuck Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
No, actually, I really don't. I just don't celebrate Christmas, but I'm all about being goodwill towards people. But as they say, brotherly love for brotherly love, but cheese for money. It's an Albanian saying. Anyway, that's me. Thank you.
I like it. I like that saying.
I'm Kai. I've been Haru. You can find me all over the internet as Estelle of Imladris, where I mostly talk about TTRPG stuff. Weird. We just announced today, so I'm looking at my phone to make sure that I'm saying the right days and times and things. I am also not only here, obviously having a grand old time, being not at all a problem, but I'm also a cast member on Campaign 2 on Transplanet RPG, the Chaos Protocol, where I play a sad gay cowboy who is fine. And we just announced that we are doing between Arc 1 and Arc 2. We finished Arc 1, wow, earlier this month. Had a wonderful time running around the Wild Sea. We are now in a little hiatus between arcs, but we just announced that we were doing an interlude episode where we are playing Monster Care Squad. So if anyone wants to see a really fish out of water situation of a sad gay purple cowboy playing Monster Care Squad, we are going to be doing that on the 19th, coming up very soon with a special guest, which is going to be super fun. And we're also doing a cast Q&A next week, the 13th, whatever day that is. So you can hear all about my thoughts about what it's like to play a dusty purple space cowboy on the 13th.
That sounds so fun.
Yep.
Hi everybody, I'm Sam. You can find me on the internets as at Redpandroid on most of the socials. I have been Kestrel, your amateur neighborhood AI therapist for the week. This is the only game I'm in right now. So come back and see me next time and see what other dumb shit I say on the internet.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you around. Oh, I didn't say thanks to people. Thanks to James, keeping chat awesome. Super important, super awesome. Thank you to the Patreon people that support the channel. We don't do ads or product placement kind of games around here. We just play games that we're interested in because it's fun. And you guys keep some beverages in the fridge and you keep the lights on. So we appreciate it. I got to record a special episode of Nerding Out, the Patreon thing. So if you're a Patreon member, you'll probably see me show up there shortly, or maybe already. I don't know. But we chatted about going to conventions and weird convention happenings and things. So you can tune in there and see some of the strange events that happened in my many years of visiting weird conventions. Other than that, we'll see you next time. Bye.